Live from Hard Rock Stadium, it's the first game of the preseason. The Miami Dolphins and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Thunderstorms earlier this late afternoon have passed, and we welcome you to Hard Rock Stadium. Football is back, and so is number 17. More on that shortly as the Miami Dolphins looking to rebound after a disappointing year, as are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's the first preseason game of 2018. And welcome, everyone. Dick Stockton, along with the usual suspects, Bob Griese and Nat Moore. And, of course, the Dolphins want to get back to winning ways, and the South Florida Chevy dealers' keys to the game. Offense needs to do a lot more this year, and they are glad that the quarterback is back, Bob.
Well, it was about this time last year that Ryan Tannehill tore the ACL in his left knee. He's back. He's healthy. He's going to start tonight. He's probably going to play a little less than a quarter. But there's no doubt that the success of this team this year revolves around the play of Ryan Tannehill. And he's got the best receivers that I think he's had in a long time, Dick.
He's got an array of them, and we'll see how that pans out tonight. Meanwhile, on the defensive side, and Nat Moore, this is a team that got a big boost from a guy who really didn't get to show what he could do last year.
Yeah, number 52, Raekwon McMillan. You know, he was a rookie in 2017, tore up his ACL in this game last year in the preseason, first play. Well, he's back, he's healthy, he's running around, making plays all over the field, and he's a leader. He's a leader both in the classroom and on the field. Dick, I love this guy.
I know you do, and he's going to finally get a chance to show why he was the second-round pick last year. So we're ready for preseason football here at Hard Rock Stadium, and I like mine medium. Coming up, it'll be the Buccaneers against the Dolphins. And welcome back to Hard Rock Stadium. Don Shula and the heroes of the Miami Dolphins. And tonight's weather report is presented by Audi at 79 degrees. It has been a lot hotter than that recently. 83% humidity. Partly cloudy is the forecast. And as we mentioned earlier, we had a severe thunderstorm for a brief time, a couple of hours before the game got underway. And tonight's broadcast is brought to you in HD by BrandSmart USA. And the Miami Dolphins have won the toss, so we'll see Mr. Tannehill, who's got to be chomping at the bit, get out there quickly. And to listen to tonight's game in Spanish, be sure to enable the secondary audio programming or SAP button on your viewing device. SAP services tonight are brought to us courtesy of Duffy's Sports Grill. Well, these teams were supposed to open the regular season last year here, but Hurricane Irma took care of that, and the game was rescheduled on the bye week for both teams, November 19th. And the Buccaneers beat the Dolphins 30-20 here. Adam Gase in his third year, 10-6, 6-10. Now the third year.
And that was really tough on both teams, Dick. They played 16 straight weeks without a bye. You know, both teams, you know, when you get that bye, you got a chance to go back in and refix things and come back out, and they didn't get that opportunity. So both teams struggled throughout the year.
So as we said, the Dolphins win the toss, and they'll take the ball. That means Jakeem Grant is going to go back there, and he's the return man. And interesting with Grant trying to also win a spot as one of the receivers on a very deep receiving team, Bob.
He's in his third year, and he broke in. He got lots of speed, and he's got lots of big play ability.
And Chandler Catanzaro, who was last year with the Jets, and before that with the Arizona Cardinals, is a touchback. And here comes Mr. Tannehill, who returns after ACL surgery in his left knee. This lineup brought to you by Audi. He has not played in a live game since December 11th, 2016, but had career best numbers that year. Missed the final three because of a knee injury. So here he is, Ryan Tannehill, starting from the 25-yard line. And it's going to be play action on first down. And the pass is going to be caught and will be a first down. Kenny Stills One of the many receivers on the team, and first down, 16-yard pickup.
Very similar play to what he got hurt on last year. He was rolling out to his right, and that's the play he got hurt on. That was a big play right there.
Ball is up to the 40-yard line. They got to move it out of the pocket right away. Short drop. Looking for someone, and he's got Kenyon Drake, the running back, out of the backfield. And Drake picks up 7 yards. Our focus for the Dolphins will be on the running back. Frank Gore sitting this one out, the newcomer. Very popular here. University of Miami star and 35-year-old. Kalen Ballage, a rookie, may like him as well. Second down and 3. Close to midfield for the Dolphins on the opening possession. And the quick toss, it's going to be a first down, and it's caught by Stills. Second reception and a first down into Buccaneer territory. Carlton Davis making the tackle.
Nice job by Kenny Stills. You know, he's caught 2 balls already, but that time, nice job driving the defender off and then breaking out, catching the ball. Good timing on the throw.
And they get to the line in a hurry. You know, Adam Gase always wanted to play quick. And here comes the handoff to Drake. Penalty flag is down, and Drake will pick up a couple of yards before the great Gerald McCoy comes in to make the tackle. But a penalty. The referee tonight is Sean Smith.
Holding, offense, number 70. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay first down.
And that's going to be against the right tackle, Juwan James.
You know, and one of the things that they really wanted to work on offensively is getting away from the penalties. Here you see Juwan James. He gets his hands outside the numbers, and that's an easy call right there on the holding. You know, he just body slams him, but ironically, you got to keep your hands inside.
Well, Adam Gase has a little bit of a luxury here, Bob. The first 3 years of the offensive line is pretty much set. He's never had that luxury before.
Yeah, but his offense was the most penalized offense in the league last year.
True. So it's first down and 20, and the quick to Stills. Or check it, Danny Amendola. And welcome addition. Well, we've all watched Amendola in practice. What does he bring from New England?
Intensity. You know, he works hard every play. You know, he finishes every play. And one thing that happens when you get a guy like that, it becomes contagious, and you see everybody trying to do the same thing to emulate it.
Second down and 16. Dolphins back in their own territory after that holding penalty. And the run pass option. Kenyon Drake makes the carry, and Jason Pierre-Paul making the tackle for the Buccaneers. They have revamped their defensive line in a big way. That's the area they struggled in last year en route to a 5-11 year.
Yeah, their defense was not very good. Their offense was good,
especially in the passing department. Third down and 11, and on the draw play, here is Kenyon Drake, and Drake is going to be close to a first down, maybe short by less than a yard, and it was Justin Evans, the safety, who may have saved the first down foray, but they're lining up in a hurry. It is going to be fourth down and less than 1. This is going to make teams really pay attention, and a first down for Kenyon Drake. This is so far, guys, a well-executed drive.
And you see what Kenyon Drake gives you. He has that ability to make a guy miss an open field and get close to the first down. Just outstanding run by Kenyon Drake. You know, this is the little draw and not make the defender. I think that was Conte, a great safety. He made miss, and he's able to get the necessary yardage to get close to the first down.
Now the rookie Kalen Ballage from Arizona State, 4th-round pick, is in the game at running back. First down on the 37 of the Bucs, and the handoff is to Ballage, and he fights his way to the 35-yard line, picking up 2.
And guys, this is a kid that didn't start, but he played a lot at Arizona State. I mean, he averaged, I think it was somewhere in the 4.8 yards per carry range, and he's a great receiver coming out of the backfield. He's just got to learn the pro game, and then he's going to be a tremendous asset.
More and more backs are being counted on to be receivers out of the backfield as checkdowns, and even more than that. Second down and 8. Play actionable to Balaj, and the pass down the middle, and it's off the mark, nearly intercepted. It was intended for Danny Amendola, and David Rivers, who's been on many practice squads in his NFL time, breaks it up.
Well, guys, I'm telling you, if you're the new the running back coach, here's a great effort that time by Amendola, not able to come up with the grab, but a great pickup on the blitz by Kalen Ballard to give the quarterback time to throw the football.
Boy, pass protection is so important. When you're a rookie running back and you do well, you got a leg up. 3rd down and 8 at the 35. Good protection this time for Tannehill, and the pass thrown behind Balaj, and that will bring up 4th down.
Yeah.
The Dolphins already made a 4th down conversion, but not this time.
Good coverage. They had 3 receivers to the right side, and everybody was covered. Nobody got open.
So now a field goal try coming up. Jason Sanders, he's battling Greg Joseph, 2 rookies. This will be a 53-yard attempt. He's got a strong leg, 7th-round pick from New Mexico. So it's Greg Joseph from nearby FAU in Boca Raton. And here's Sanders from 53. It's going to be a tough fight throughout preseason, and no good. It's off to the left. So Sanders misses a field goal as the Dolphins come up empty on their opening drive of the game. No score, and the Audi starting the quarterback tonight for Tampa Bay is Ryan Fitzpatrick. He started 3 games last year, and the reason why that he's in there for the first 3 games is because Jameis Winston has been suspended for the first 3 games of the season for, we'll just say, misconduct. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
First down at the 43. Good field position after the missed field goal. And here is Fitzpatrick. He's a good backup quarterback. And this pass is going to be caught, and a first down to Sean Jackson. And a good gain there. Xavier Howard, who's been amazing at camp, makes the play after an 18-yard gain on first down into Dolphin territory.
Dick, where'd that quarterback? I know he couldn't get into Purdue. Where did he go to school? Fitzpatrick, Ryan?
You know, never close. Bob, I told you, don't close.
He couldn't get into Purdue, Harvard or somewhere
and
like
you
that.
had 3 Super Bowl quarterbacks who have won championships. Here's Fitzpatrick and Mike Evans with another first down. You want to talk about a quick working offense. That's what Dirk Cutter's got going right now for Tampa Bay as they line up in a hurry. Got 14 yards on that play.
And you see the veteran leadership of Fitzpatrick that time as he allows McMillan to run through the lane and throws it behind him on that slant.
Jackson goes out of the game. Of course, he has been a prolific veteran wide receiver for the Eagles, Redskins, Bucks now. First down on the 25-yard line. And we'll have a penalty. Devon Godshaw may have jumped.
Approachment, defense number 56. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Pre-snap penalties.
Yes.
Come into play.
Yes.
And the defensive focus will be on the defensive line. Chris Kosurik is the new man handling that. Matt Burke, the defensive coordinator, said this is a pass rush that looks very good for his team. But meanwhile, they're in a 1st and 5 deficit, and the handoff is to Peyton Barber, and Barber driving down to the 10-yard line gets a first down after picking up 9 yards. Barber was the leading rusher last year, only 400 yards gained for this team. Of course, Doug Martin no longer with the team in Oakland.
Right. They had an explosive offense, but similar to the Dolphins, defensively they struggled at times.
First down on the 11. Buccaneers threaten. And here's the handoff to Barber, and Barber getting close to the 5 before Robert Quinn makes the tackle.
Dolphins have a lot of good defensive ends who can rush the passer. The question mark is inside on the defensive tackles.
So it'll be 2nd down and 6 from the 7-yard line. And there is Quinn, former Ram. He's had a distinguished career. And here's Fitzpatrick, has running room, and he slides and gets to about the 4. Alonso was right there, the fixture linebacker for Miami.
Was that a slide or was that a dive? You know, the new rule,
yeah, right.
You can dive forward, and it's and you give yourself up and they can't hit you. So here's another look at it. He doesn't slide, he just dives forward, gives himself up.
Right. By the way, no quarterback goes headfirst more than this man. No, that's been his career.
And he's smart enough.
Well, Dirk Cutter sees his team now at a 3rd down and 3 at the 4. Let's see if the Dolphin defense can force the Buccaneers into a field goal try. And they're going to run it, and they're going to score it. Peyton Barber goes in for the touchdown. And a very quick, nifty drive by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who score first in this game.
Nice mixture of run and pass by the Buccaneers to move the ball down the field, coming out the back door. They've got these little shifty backs that they'll start strong side, come back out the weak side. So if you're a linebacker, you got to stay home. You know, here's another look at it. He comes out the back door, big gaping hole.
After the Dolphin missed field goal, they really had a short field. They had only, what do they have?
A little more than 50.
57 yards.
Catanzaro is on to try the extra point. Well, this is a team that has had revolving door kickers for so long, and the extra point is no good. It's missed by Catanzaro. Welcome to your new team.
You called it.
Is there another revolving door going on for these kickers? Here's a touchdown again. Well executed drive by the Buccaneers, who take a 6-0 lead. And the scoring drive is brought to you by Honda, and this was Peyton Barber going over 6 plays, 57 yards in 3 minutes, and a very impressive scoring drive, putting the Dolphins down 6-0. There's Barber, and new kickoff rules as well. Tough to explain because then the offense takes over immediately, but basically you don't have some of those big lugs anymore on the kicking team, and this one is going to be returned by Jakeem Grant. And Grant, 6th round pick a couple of years ago, brings it out beyond the 20-yard line. And the tackle by Cameron Lynch. And the new quarterback is David Fales. David Fales, 27 years old, 6th round pick by the Bears in 2014. Adam Gase liked what he saw there.
Yeah, Gase was with him in Chicago, and he was with Osweiler in Denver, the other quarterback.
Starting from the 23. Handoff is to Balaj, trying to turn the corner, and he does, and gets the first down before he's written out of bounds by Ryan Smith.
And there we saw the quickness and the speed of Kalen Ballage as this play was scheduled to hit up in the middle, and he bounces it, and he just outruns the corner. Good block outside by Amendola. Excuse me, that was number 81.
Drew Morgan.
Drew Morgan.
Ballage is 6'3" and 230.
Gain of 14. And trying to get away from trouble, and Gerald McCoy with the sack as we send it to our missing person. Where has he been? Kim Bokamper. Hi, Kim.
I've been down here on the sideline. Time for our player profile, brought to you by the Edmore Sawgrass Auto Mall. We're going to look at number 94. Robert Quinn came over from the Rams during the offseason. He was a two-time Pro Bowler over there. He made a tackle in that first series. Now, he played outside linebacker last year for the Rams, which was out of position for him. He's back to his old natural spot as a defensive end in a four-man line, and he has been impressive. The All-Pro with the Rams has racked up 62.5 career sacks. And at 28 still has a lot of gas in the tank. He's got a bend that the coaches say is so unorthodox. It makes it tough for offensive linemen. We'll see if he gets some more snaps, and who knows, maybe he gets a little pass rush here.
And that's what Tampa Bay is doing. They're getting a pass rush, but the pass is caught by Albert Wilson, and he'll have a first down. So despite the rush, Bales hung in there, and a gain of 16, first down.
And a heads-up play by Albert Wilson. He comes back, goes down, catches the football, goes to the ground, gets up, realizes that he can get up and run, and gets the first down. That's knowing what you need to get a first down. As you can see, the cornerback didn't know because he just stood there. He thought he was down.
He can play all over the place. Started 7 for the Chiefs last year. Good pickup. First down at the 47. Bales look good on that play, and he has some time, and he completes the pass again to Wilson, and Wilson gets it inside the Buck territory to the 38, and a 15-yard pickup.
Wilson is one of the reasons, he and Amendola, that I mentioned that this receiving crew is one of the best that Tannehill is going to have to play with in his 7 years here with the Dolphins.
Quite a luxury. He doesn't have the Jarvis Landry big catch, 100-catch guy, but he's got an array of receivers, each of whom can rise up any time. So a first down at the 38.
And he has speed. I mean, he can score from anywhere on the field.
Fails. And a flag goes down, and Jakeem Grant against Ryan Smith. And it's going to be...
Did he catch that ball anyway?
He caught it, but it was out of bounds.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to get the interference call
against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That's a nice throw by the quarterback.
Pass interference, defense number 29. Ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
So now it'll be a first down inside the 15 for Miami.
There you see, nice job of trying to get on top, getting his hands off, and you can see the hole right there. Good job by Grant of bringing attention, continuing the fight, and then making the catch.
Oh, great catch.
Oh, man.
Little guy, 5'9", 170 is Grant.
Caught 13 last year for 2 touchdowns. And a first down at the 14-yard line. And here comes Fales into the end zone, and a bit high, even for the 6'6" guy with a huge vertical leap. Gesicki, you're going to like him.
That was a great route ran by Gesicki.
Yes.
I mean, he comes over, the ball's a little bit late.
You're right. The quarterback was late. You're right. Yes, sir.
I mean, he gets separation. This is supposed to be a jump ball, and just overthrew him, let him out of bounds.
40-inch vertical jump. Mike Gesicki down the field. Basketball guy. It's a timing thing. Ballage gets tripped up by Chris Conti and gets 3 yards in the process. By the way, Ryan Tannehill, quick work tonight, 4 for 6 for 32 yards before Fales took over on the second possession.
Hey guys, what I like so far about this offense, early on we had a penalty and they overcame it. This time we get a sack and they've overcame it. So we got another chance to put some points on the board. Let's see if they can get into the end zone.
Well, they got a big third down conversion, 3rd down and 8. They have to get it inside the 5. And here's Fales and trying to get it to Gesicki again. Got a pass rush, got knocked down by Levante David. Done a lot of that in the past for the Buccaneers. And 4th down coming in, and Jason Sanders will come on to try his field goal to give the Dolphins some points. Missed a 53-yarder earlier. This will be a 29-yard try. Two rookies battling for the place-kicking job for the Dolphins, and it should go down to the wire. And this kick for 29 yards out is good. And so the Dolphins, led by David Fales, battling with Brock Osweiler for the backup job behind Ryan Tannehill. They get 3 out of it. Bucks 6, Dolphins 3. Fans experience the home opener live in the all-new Hard Rock Stadium and help us create a home field advantage. Join us as we open the regular season September 9th against the Tennessee Titans, presented by Publix. A limited number of tickets remain. Visit dolphins.com to secure your seats now.
They did a hell of a job fixing this place up. They really did. Well, we got the Super Bowls coming here, Nat.
We got Super Bowl in 2020. We got the College Football Championship. We've got the World Cup coming potentially in 26. So just unbelievable venue that people just want to bring their events here.
Bobo Wilson returning for the Buccaneers and gets a good return out of it, and is ridden out of bounds at the 27-yard line by Sonoris Perry. But first up, of course, the Tennessee Titans. Marcus Mariota and a dangerous team will be coming in for the opener.
When you look at Mariota and what he's been able to accomplish in his short career, last year they struggled at times, but you know they've got a solid program. They got some good receivers. I mean, there was a transformation, and they got a new coach. Used to be, is it Vrabel?
Mike Vrabel.
Vrabel, yeah.
He's got that New England pedigree behind him.
Oh, yeah.
First down at the 25 for Fitzpatrick, and the handoff is to Peyton Barber, who scored the lone touchdown thus far, and he gets 3 yards on first down.
Well, one of the positions that the Dolphins are really looking at throughout the preseason is going to be those defensive tackles. And, you know, Tampa's had some success running the ball right up the middle.
Yes, they have.
Second down and 7. They spread them out. Empty backfield for the Bucks. Bucks solid offensively last year, especially in the passing department. It's one of the reasons why it was Mike Evans, who's one of the best already in the league, gets it out to the 40. Picking up 12 yards with Minkah Fitzpatrick making the tackle. And we're going to be watching this #1 pick, who is a weapon all over the place. He can play, not just one safety spot. #1 pick out of Alabama. And
they really like
he's a keeper, right?
Really
he's
like
a keeper
him.
In a big
way.
way.
Yeah.
Well, you like him because you can go to your nickel and dime, put him in the slot to cover the slot. You don't have to always bring in a corner.
And here is Fitzpatrick, and he dumps it off to Barber, and Barber is tackled. Good play that time by T.J. McDonald as well as Raekwon McMillan. Well, coming up tonight, don't miss the Fantasy 5 winning numbers in the news following the game, only on CBS 4, your official Florida lottery station. Hey, they got some strong safeties on this Dolphin team who could play that position. Battle for the other cornerback spot after Howard's going to be interesting. And here's Fitzpatrick taking off. He'll get the first down into Dolphin territory to the 49.
You mentioned that, Dick. The Dolphins didn't really need a safety. They had T.J. McDonald and Rashad Jones, two of the best safeties in the league, but there sits Fitzpatrick, and that's one of those deals where he was just too good to pass up.
And you want to create competition. You know, that's been the theme all training camp. How do we get more competition and make each other better?
After the 9-yard pickup and another completion and another first down, this to Chris Godwin. Fitzpatrick looking sharp, and he is a good quarterback. I mean, he's not just a average backup. He's a good backup. It connects for 12 yards. He didn't go to Purdue, Bob, but he went to a school that may have surpassed yours in academics.
I don't
you know where he went?
It's right there. Sure, I know where he went. Harvard.
Yeah, very good. Okay.
There aren't many players around in the NFL that went to Harvard.
Well, they got a tight end that went to Harvard. And this pass to Barber, and good pursuit Jerome Baker, the third-round draft pick out of Ohio State. Not big, but he can get in your face.
Former teammate of Raekwon McMillan at Ohio State. They played together for a couple of years, and Raekwon sort of taking him under his wings and helping him learn the system.
Loss of 3, 2nd and 13. Open receiver goes high for it, and Godwin is there, and it is incomplete. Good play made by the Dolphins.
Minkah Fitzpatrick coming over. This is why you get a guy like that. He has the range there, Dick, to come over and get that ball out. There's been a lot of safeties, but they couldn't run sideline to sideline. This kid can flat run.
And Godwin did not have control of the ball, and that was key. Minkah put the hit on him.
But a clean hit, kept his head up, so that he didn't get called for lowering his head, hitting him with his headgear.
3rd down and 13 on the Dolphin 40. And getting some time, and the pass is dropped by Ronald Jones. And it was Fitzpatrick. And he knew he was in the neighborhood, didn't he now?
I think he just likes playing football. Yeah. I mean, he has laid the boom on 2 guys already. One on a go route, and then he reads this like a linebacker, comes up and delivers the blow.
Doesn't deliver with his head.
With his shoulder.
With his shoulder, that's right.
Well, that's a big rule change. Anyone that lowers his head, that goes in anywhere, is going to be charged with a 15-yard penalty and could be ejected.
Yes, that's a big thing. Could be ejected.
Yeah, Jakeem Grant, and they're going to kick this to keep it in play, and the fair catch called for by Grant on about the 11-yard line. Bucks lead the Dolphins 6-3. Miami on offense when we get back. Buccaneers are leading the Dolphins 6-3. Want a reminder to watch CBS 4 News this morning and start your day off right with Lauren, Lisette, Bianca, and Maribel. Every weekday morning on CBS 4, the official home of your Miami Dolphins. Well, the new quarterback is Brock Osweiler, so I hope they have like 20 quarterbacks to use in this game. We're already in number 3. Osweiler, 6'7" from the Broncos. Adam Gase liked him there. Balaj. Good run by Balaj as he gets it out close to the first down, gets 9 yards, and a good block by tight end Thomas Duarte in the process.
Nice job of getting his shoulders square and then getting small, coming through the hole.
So Osweiler, who's an ex-starter, 15 games with Texas, and Whitehead goes out for Tampa Bay, injured. 15 games in 2016.
Good block by the tight end coming across.
That's Duarte, drafted a couple years ago.
And of course, Osweiler was with the Denver Broncos as well, and time has run out. That is the end of the first quarter, with the Buccaneers leading the Dolphins 6-3. And here is tonight's trivia question brought to you by Jeep. Frank Gore is one of 3 former University of Miami Hurricanes to rush for over 10,000 yards in his NFL career. Can you name the other 2? Play along with us by sending in your answers to the hashtag FinsOn4. Think about it. All right, 2nd down and 1. Osweiler, the quarterback, and the handoff and a first down. Balaj once again.
Good.
You know, one of the best things he's done, excuse me a second, Bob, has been the pass protection earlier in the first quarter. You don't see rookies that good then.
Yeah, Balaj, yeah. He's big enough. He's 230. He's 6'3" and 230. He's a lot bigger than Frank Gore. Let's put it that way.
A little younger, too.
Yeah, Gore's 35 now.
First down on the 23, play action. And Osweiler is going to go deep for Jakeem Grant, and it's knocked away. Good defensive play by Carlton Davis, a rookie from Auburn.
Jakeem this time, he has his defender beat by a couple steps. Ball slightly underthrown, and he takes his eyes off the ball as he pushes off, and then the ball goes through his hands. You know?
Saw that.
I mean, hey, you know, if he catches it, go get called back.
you know, he could have caught it, and if he would have caught it, that means he's a starter in the NFL.
Right.
You know, those backups miss those types.
Second down and 10, and on the run pass option, it's run to Balaj. Not much there, picking up 2 yards, bringing up third down and 8 early here in the second quarter. Dolphins preseason opener. Dick Stockton along with Bob Greasy and Nat Moore and Kim Bokamper roaming the sidelines.
Another opportunity to improve on third down possessions, a chance to convert into a first down. Dolphins were 28th in converting in plays in the first downs last year.
Third down and 8. Osweiler in trouble, and he dumps it off to Balaj. Balaj leaves the ball on the field, and it's recovered by Tampa Bay. Fumble recovered by the Buccaneers, and it's Isaiah Johnson who picks up the loose ball. First the hurdling by Balaj, and then the ball was left on the field.
Good
Fumble.
and bad, Nat.
Well, the good part is he does a nice job of checking out, giving his quarterback somewhere to throw the football, and then he jumps up to hurdle the guy, but he's not protecting the football. One of the things that they preach in practice is ball security. He actually knocked the ball out himself when his knee came up and knocked the ball out. So it wasn't that the Tampa Bay Bucs knocked it out, he knocked it out. There you see Eric Stutterville coming over, Sonoris Perry. I mean, what a great job this guy's done coaching these running backs. He keeps them fired up, and he makes the corrections right away.
And Jameis Winston is coming at quarterback for the Dolphins here.
No.
Oh, for the Buccaneers. Thank you, Bob. I'm glad you're listening. First down, and Winston's first pass is swung out and caught by Chris Godwin for a gain of about 4 yards. So Jameis Winston, and 13 games last year, suspended the first 3 this year. Remember, it was Winston picked first and Mariota by Tennessee in that draft for the 2 quarterbacks.
And they both have really played well for their teams, have taken them to different highs, but you know, Winston has just had some off the field problems that continue to hurt him.
For a while it looked like he may have been past that. Second down and 6. Ronald Jones, and he's the guy who may be the heir apparent to Doug Martin as Minkah Fitzpatrick makes the tackle. 6-yard pickup, and it's going to be a first down for Tampa Bay. Jones is a second-round pick from USC. Youngest player on the team at age 21.
And I went over and talked to a couple of coaches about this kid. And,
Good one.
I said, tell me about him. They said, well, he can run. He is fast. We don't know about everything else, but we know he's fast.
So a first down on the 23. Tampa Bay trying to take advantage of the turnover. Wide open at the 10-yard line is Freddie Martino. And Martino stopped at the 2 by Torrey McTyer. And the Buccaneers threaten again.
And that just looked like, Bob, a busted assignment by the linebacker.
He was wide open.
I mean, you look like they're playing a zone defense, and the linebacker just ran out of there.
20-yard gain, and it's first and goal now at the 3. Winston to Jones. Not going to get anything.
You know, when you look at the preseason, guys, it's game situations, opportunity to improve on some things that you struggled with last year. Down here in the red zone, the Dolphins really struggled last year. I think they were 30th in the league. This is another opportunity. It looked like Mike Hall is down, but another opportunity to get better in the red zone.
Timeout. Not sure if there's an injury on the field, and there is. There's an injury, and it preliminary looks like Mike Hull. We'll take a timeout. This was moments ago, Mike Hull being helped off the field.
And, you know, solid player, guy that played big last year, had some early moments when Raekwon went down. Our best special team player, one of them, and you hate to lose a guy like that.
He's a backup linebacker despite his number 45, and he had to fill in some last year, but you're right, Nat. He was a big-time guy on special teams.
2nd and goal at the 2. Jameis Winston leading the team, and they're going to go to Jones again, and he'll score. Ronald Jones going off left tackle. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers here in this first half have 2 rushing touchdowns already. This was a 2-yard run, and it all happened after the turnover. Turnover by Balaj.
Tampa Bay's had 2 short fields, one 57, and then this one was only 32 yards for the touchdown.
But even probably more mind-boggling is the opportunity for the defense to step up inside the 20-yard line in a position that you struggled at last year and not be able to get the job done.
Catanzaro, who missed his first extra point try, makes good on this one, and the Buccaneers now lead 13-3.
Here's another look at the turnover. Nice job by Kellen Balaj, but he's got to put the ball away. And then you got Jones, nice little cut inside, 4-yard touchdown run.
Turnover margin, that's not very good. The Dolphins, what were they? Last year they were 29th. Out of 32 teams in turnover margin. Well, they were a minus 14.
Yes.
They gave the ball up 14 more times than they got it.
You can't win with that.
Well, you can't win giving it up that much, but by the same token, defensively, you got to get some takeaways.
Yeah.
Well, Balaj, who, as we see Hull now, really, you know, we saw with Raekwon McMillan last year, when you know, injuries are part of football, but when you know, get hurt in the first preseason game like that, I mean, that's really the one thing you want to avoid. But Hull getting congratulations and good wishes from people. Balaj, as we said, is returning this kick here and running it out from 2 yards in the end zone. Kalen Balaj, and here was the injury to Mike Hull.
It's on the goal line.
Number 45, screened out by the post, but you can see.
Yeah, it's surprising that doesn't happen more often in those pile-ups.
From the
nothing intentional.
From the 22, Balaj can't turn the corner. Good pursuit by the Buccaneers, and a loss of 1 yard thanks to Will Clark. So Balaj is going to come out of the game, and Sonoris Perry will check in. Perry's been around, limited play for him. Former Chicago Bear. That's where he caught Adam Gase's attention.
And guys, you have to like the coaching of Eric Stutterville. Balaj fumbles the football, you put him right back in, you give him the ball. He catches a kickoff, he runs it, and let him run it again rather than leaving with that sour taste in his mouth. There's a good look at Eric Stutterville there. Running back coach, running game coordinator.
Resetting the game clock now to 10:45 here in the second quarter. And it'll be 2nd down and 11 at the 21. Brock Osweiler. 4 starts with the Broncos last year. Gets pressure, gets away from the pressure, and barely scoots forward for a little bit. No gain for Osweiler. And it was Noah Spence who put quarterback pressure on him for the Buccaneers.
Good pressure. He beats Sam Young early, faked him outside, came inside, and had a clean shot on the quarterback. Nice job by Osweiler of making him miss.
The starting offensive line has been out when Tannehill went out. They've been replaced. 3rd down and 11. Short drop, scanning the field, and the pass is incomplete. And that'll bring up 4th down.
That was a good
Isaiah Ford.
It was a good throw. Wasn't complete, but if it would have been, if he would have thrown it any further inside, it could have been intercepted.
So Isaiah Ford, who's had shoulder problems, 7th round draft pick last year. And there we see Matt Hawk punting to Bernard Reedy on 4th down. Matt Hawk last year led all rookie punters for kicks inside the 20. That's not going to happen on this kick, but it's a line drive kick picked up by Reedy, and Reedy in stride gets it to midfield. And once again, good field position for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They've had it 3 times in this game thus far. We'll be back. Well, if you're not watching Talking with Joe, you're missing out. It's sports and so much more. Catch Talking with Joe weekdays on CBS 4 this morning. Well, the Buccaneers, after a missed field goal, had good field position and they scored a touchdown, and then on a turnover, they got another score. Now they have a start on the 49 of the Dolphins with 9:42 to go in the half. Jameis Winston remains at quarterback. Short drop, and the pass is caught. Cameron Brate, the other Harvard guy on this team. Let's go down to Bo.
All right, how about Bo's Battles, brought to you by your South Florida BMW dealers. We're going to look at that cornerback position opposite Xavier Howard. X has that job all wrapped up, but on the other side, it is a dogfight. Cordrea Tankersley, the incumbent, started 11 games last year. He's in the mix, but Torrey McTyer, a free agent last year, has gotten bigger, he's gotten stronger, he's challenged and has a legitimate shot to take a jump at that starting spot, at that cornerback spot. Tony Lippett, who is coming back from an Achilles tendon injury, tweaked his ankle, not sure how bad that's going to be. And the other guy that could step into that mix is Bobby McCain, mainly an inside guy, but could challenge to line up on the perimeter the way he's been playing lately, fellas.
Well, I'll tell you, they're going to need all of those corners to stop this kind of a play. Torrey McTyer defending Justin Watson, who gets 16 yards after a big game before.
But very tough on the cornerbacks to cover for an extended period of time. We get no pass rush whatsoever. We've been talking about the great defensive ends and the pass rush, but haven't seen that here tonight, Dick.
First down on the 16, not at all. And Winston on the run pass option. Flag is down on the pass that was intended for Bobo Wilson. One of those dangerous plays, over the middle pass plays when the ball is thrown high. Here's Sean Smith. Picking up the flag.
There's a lot of new officials in the league.
Yeah, some of the familiar guys. Gene Steratore, Terry McCauley. A couple more. They all go into television, like you guys did.
We found out why you like it so much.
Yeah. I mean, I like you guys being here. 2nd and 10 at the 16 for Winston. And going to hand off to Jones, and a tackle, or not a tackle, but slowing up with Jerome Baker slowing up. No gain on the play, but a good pursuit that time.
Baker, the 3rd round draft pick out of Ohio State, making a good play.
Gets penetration, gets into the backfield. Not able to come down with the stop, but able to slow him up and wait for his troops.
And Chase Allen finished it up. So now 3rd down and 10. Dolphins looking for a good stop here. Jacquizz Rodgers, the veteran back, is in there for Tampa Bay. Out of the shotgun is Jameis Winston. And finally, time is called by the Buccaneers.
Timeout. Tampa.
Looked like they weren't sure exactly what they wanted to do as the play clock started to wind down. Dirk Cutter's third year as well. He had the team going a couple of years ago. The Buccaneers, a lot of people thought they were going to be the darlings last year, making progress in a very tough NFC South division, but they had their problems, as the Dolphins, who had a good, successful year in Gase's first, struggled last year.
Well, and wasn't Cutter the coordinator prior to taking this job? You know, they felt that he could do a great job with Winston, and wanted to make sure that he was the guy.
And he did a great job with Matt Ryan in Atlanta as well. Todd Monken is the offensive coordinator, but Cutter calls the plays. So 3rd down and 10 after Tampa Bay's timeout. And the pass caught by Rodgers, and not going to get there. Jerome Baker, I tell you what, Baker and Minkah Fitzpatrick, 2 rookies making their presence felt in this half.
And guys, that was a zone defense. They showed man, they backed out of it. Nice job that time by Jerome Baker, getting depth, keeping everything in front of him, and then reacting up. Keeping everything in front of it, now he comes up, you make the tackle. Perfectly played defense.
7 yards, no first down. Field goal coming up for Catanzaro. It'll be 27-yard attempt. Trying to add to the Buccaneers' lead, and Catanzaro makes good on the field goal. So with 7:05 remaining in the first half, the Tampa Bay Bucs lead the Dolphins 16-3. Back at Hard Rock Stadium, the Buccaneers lead the Dolphins now by a score of 16-3. And coming up tonight, don't miss the Fantasy 5 winning numbers in the news following the game. Only on CBS 4, your official Florida lottery station. Maybe you'll win, guys. Maybe one of you will take it. What are you laughing at? If you win the lottery, will you be with us next week?
No friggin' way. Huh?
What about you, Nat?
You know, I love the company of you two guys.
Yeah.
I would show up just to tell you I'm not going to work tonight.
Balazs. And a good thing it didn't touch him. It's a touchback as it goes into the end zone. He avoided the ball and taking it out on the 25.
It's a new rule this year that if
right,
and it's good that Balazs is a rookie, and he was well schooled about not touching the ball, let it go in the end zone.
David Fales is back in at quarterback. He was 2 for 4 for 24 yards in his first stint, second drive after Tannehill. First down at the 25, and boy, Kalen Balazs getting a lot of action, the 4th-round pick from Arizona State. This is going to be a rollout to the right, and looking and knocking it away. Good defensive play on the pass intended for Leonte Carew by Carlton Davis. Carew's interesting, and you wonder about his situation and how many receivers that the Dolphins will keep this year to come into play.
Well, he's one of those guys that are fighting for his NFL life, and that play was perfectly executed, and the only thing happened, he wasn't able to get separation from the defender.
Good
got
coverage.
The quarterback outside.
Yeah.
Good throw, but he's covered. You've got to be able to uncover, give the quarterback somewhere to throw the football.
Now it's 2nd down and 10. Dolphins trying to muster some offense. Here's Balazs. Flag goes down, however, and tackled in his tracks as Balazs by Patrick O'Connor.
Nat, you're a wide receiver. What could Carew do when you're running across the field to get open?
Well, the one thing you know is that a defender's not going to...
Offside. Defense number 57.
Defense offside.
Bucks 5-yard penalty. Go ahead.
But Bob, as you asked that question, the one thing you want to do is break his speed. Stop, stutter, do anything. Don't let him just continue to flow right into the route.
So slow down, make him think you're going to stop, and then speed up again.
Yeah, just a change of pace.
Yeah.
So now 2nd and 5 after the penalty, getting the pass rush, and on the screen pass to Balazs, and Balazs will get a first down up to the 42-yard line.
I'm liking this.
And did you see the difference after the fumble, this time he catches the football, he gets upfield, he protects the football at any potential contact. Now watch him put both hands over the football. He sees it's coming, both hands over the football right there. Gets the first down.
He made one guy miss, he didn't even have to jump over him.
Coach got the message across.
Yes.
Got 10 yards and to boot. First down at the 40-yard line. And here's Ballage off the left side, and he picks up about a yard and a half.
I think the coach likes Ballage, but he won't like him if he keeps dropping the ball. If you're a running back and you're a fumbler, which I'm not saying Ballage is.
You know, Greasy's starting to sound like a quarterback now.
Hey, no, you cannot drop the ball.
Give him a chance, Bob.
No, I'm just saying. I'm not talking about Ballage.
Anyway, you got him on the sideline. Sonoris Perry is back in the game.
Leave me alone.
And pass up the middle, and it's caught by Perry, and Perry close to the first down. He may have it. Riley Bulla makes the stop, 8-yard gain, and it is a Dolphin first down.
Nice job by Fales of looking downfield, seeing nothing is there, and then just dropping it off to his tailback, to his check down.
Fales
gets the first down.
Fales was in there on the second possession, and that possession, the Dolphins scored their only points.
Right. So now they're at midfield, first down. Under 5 minutes to go in the first half. Here's Perry. Good run by Perry. Sonoris Perry.
Oh.
Boy, I tell you what. Looked like Hugh McElhenney. Nobody remembers Hugh McElhenney. Nobody remembers
Hugh
him.
McElhenney.
Yeah.
I don't
By the way,
even
one
remember
of the great swivel-hipped runners ever to play the game of football.
Well, don't tell Sonoris that. All right. Great route, great job of running the football, coming out the back door, that time by Perry.
15-yard gain. I wish you guys would read the history books a little bit more. First down at the 35. Fales has him going. Perry with a good run after a catch. And then here's Perry again. No, the pass is going to be caught. And a first down inside the 20. Isaiah Ford missed the year because of a knee injury in preseason, shoulder injury this year, fighting through it, gets 16 here, and the Dolphins with a first down inside the 20.
And guys, nice job by the guard, the left guard coming back out, picks up, gives some help to the tight end. Matter of fact, that was the tackle coming back to help the tight end where the quarterback's able to get the ball off.
They're at the 19. Can they finish the job? Here is Perry. Spins away from a defender, gets to the 10 and inside the 10. Sonoris Perry putting on an exhibition here, and it'll be first and goal for the Dolphins.
How about Fales and Perry on this drive? Those two guys are just saying, hey, give me the ball.
Outstanding move, back to back by Perry as he turns in the hole, comes out the back door and picks up a first down.
12 yards. Last year he carried 8 times for 30. That was his total. Now it's first and goal at the 7. Dolphins looking for their first touchdown, trying to narrow a 13-point gap. They give it to Perry again. Perry's going to score! Finish the job, and Sonoris Perry does it in style. A 7-yard touchdown run. And I have to tell you, you said David Fales. Getting points the first time, gets more this time.
Yes,
but it was also great blocking by that offensive line. Ted Larson, Jake Brendel, Isaac Asiata, Sam Young, and Eric Smith. Those guys did a nice job of creating space for the running back to get through there. There's another good look at it. Good cut by Sonoris Perry. Just had a feel for the goal line.
And now the score is 16-9, and Jason Sanders on for the extra point. And the kick is good. 2:49 remaining in the first half, and the Buccaneers lead now shaved to 6.
And guys, I got to make a correction that the center on that particular drive was Mike Matthews, number 63. Jake Brindle is not playing tonight, so outstanding job by Mike Matthews getting that key block right up the middle.
Yeah, give credit where credit is due, man.
Matthews, he got a little, he got some lineage in the league, doesn't he?
It's just a tad. You know, yeah. I think we heard of the Matthews family before.
Yeah.
Dolphins open the season with the Tennessee Titans, and they can get it together early. They got the teams that they might be able to get a little pad going early in the season in their schedule for Adam Gase, trying to have a rebound year.
Well, one of the things that Adam definitely would like to be this year is balance, the ability to run the football as well as throw it. You know, play action pass. So nice job of running the football.
Greg Joseph battling with Jason Sanders for the place-kicking job. Rookie from Florida Atlantic University making his first action. And that kick is out of bounds, and they'll get it at the 40-yard line. So that's a tough situation for any kicker, as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will get it at their 40-yard line. Once again, decent field position.
Yeah, I can tell you, Coach Rizzi is not going to be happy right now, because what you're trying to do is pin him in the corner. You cannot kick the ball out of bounds.
Our listeners may be wondering what happened to our kicker from last year, Parkey.
Cody Parkey.
Yes,
he got paid.
He kicked too good. And Chicago paid him a lot of money.
That's right.
He got paid.
Jameis Winston remains at quarterback with 2:49 to go in the half. First down at the 40-yard line after Greg Joseph's kickoff went out of bounds.
So the ball comes out to the 40 if it goes out of bounds.
That's what they did.
Yeah.
And a loss on the play. And good penetration by Jordan Phillips. Phillips is trying to fight his way through with Gottschall for one of those defensive tackle positions. Harris is in there as well. And there's a guy, the #1 pick from last year, who they're looking to get production from in his second year. From the 11-yard line, a pass is caught. Great catch by Cameron Brate. I mentioned the other part of the Harvard connection, Ryan Fitzpatrick and Cameron Brate. Outstanding tight end, gets 20 yards and a first down to the 41-yard line of the Dolphins.
Brate caught, he was their leading receiver.
2-minute warning. Here is Cameron Brate.
He was their leading receiver at the tight end position. Both he and O.J. Howard with 6 touchdowns.
They have offense. Two-minute warning, and stay with CBS 4 at halftime. You won't want to miss part 1 of our 4 More on the Fins feature on Raekwon McMillan, who recently spent time talking about restoring cars with our Mike Cugno. Rick Folbaum and Rudabeh Shabazi anchor our coverage back in the CBS 4 News Studios in Miami. That's all coming up at halftime. First down on the 41-yard line, and flag goes down, and see if it's a false start or an encroachment penalty here. Looks like false encroachment, don't you think?
We'll find out.
No? Guessed wrong?
False start. Offense number 77. 5-yard penalty remains first down.
Caleb Benenoch, the right guard, who started the game. So it'll be 1st and 15 now from the 46.
Jordan Phillips, the defensive tackle, number 97, is in there now. We need him to kind of wake up and start playing some good football.
Ronald Jones is the running back. He has scored a touchdown. Here's Jameis Winston being rushed. Talk about a pass rush, and you saw it there. Big loss. Vincent Taylor. And I'll tell you, one to watch. He's been a sleeper, and Matt Burke talking about it at the walkthrough yesterday. But Jordan Phillips had the penetration, just talking about it, Bob.
Well, yeah, thank you very much.
Nice job by Jordan Phillips of getting in there, forcing Winston out of the pocket, and then his friend Vincent Taylor cleans up, and you get the sack.
And a loss of 10 yards on the play, and now a timeout called, or not. Looked like the Dolphins guys were coming on the field, and then they turned back.
Thank you.
Not a timeout.
Jordan Phillips and Gaucho have really been battling for that tackle position. As you look at the projected starting lineup, but Jordan Phillips is in a big battle with Devon Gaucho for that starting tackle position.
2nd and 25 now from the 44, and on the screen here's Jacquizz Rodgers. He can be elusive, but not against the likes of Vincent Taylor, who makes successive, outstanding defensive plays and no gain. And now the timeout with 1:47 to go. Miami calls the timeout here.
Well, one of the things that Coach Kucharek preaches is pursuit, pursuit, pursuit. And here you see Vincent Taylor pursuing down the line, comes up with the tackle. These guys in practice have to run the length of the field and touch the ball carrier or receiver or running back every time the ball is snapped.
Taylor,
and it's paying off today.
Taylor is a second-year player. He was drafted in the 6th round last year, and he really showed up really good. Played a lot of football last year. He and Jordan Phillips need to play well again this year.
Dolphins call the timeout because they feel they can get their hands on the ball before intermission, and Ronald Jones is tackled from behind by Jonathan Woodard, and a flag thrown in the backfield of the Buccaneers after a 2-yard gain that time.
Holding, offense, number 67. That penalty's declined.
That'll be declined. The penalty on Mike Lidke. Mike Lidke, number 67.
He's going up against Jordan Phillips, look like.
Whoa, a tackle.
So 4th down, Brian Anger will be punting, and Drew Morgan is back deep for the Dolphins. Plenty of time left, 1:43 to go to perhaps take a lead before intermission. And a fair catch by Morgan. Flag is down as Morgan fields the fair catch at the 14-yard line. Penalty thrown at the 20.
I think the Dolphins are going to get penalized and get backed up. Holding on the punt return on the gunner.
During the kick, holding, return team, number 42. Half distance penalty. 1st down, Miami.
So that's going to set back the Dolphins, as you pointed out. Holding penalty.
Number 42.
Well, that's, well, no, Jeremy Langford, who was just signed this week as a running back. So Fales came back for a 2nd tour of duty, and now Brock Osweiler does as well. Ball on the 7-yard line with 1:36 to go. Buccaneers lead the Dolphins by 6. Balaj remains the running back. 3 receivers lining up to the left, and Balaj carries out to the 10. The RPO, the run pass option, you'll see a lot of it this year by everyone. 3-yard pickup by Balaj.
Timeout, Tampa.
And Tampa Bay calls a timeout. This is a chess game because the Buccaneers now feel that they can, considering field position, can get another chance themselves.
And what you want to do if you're the Dolphins is get a 1st down. You're not looking to score. You just do not want to give the ball back to the Buccaneers. So you've got to be tight in there. You've got to be urgent about the snap count, because one of the things the Dolphins have been working on is using the snap count as an asset, you know, to pull them offside. So if you got a team that's trying to hold you, you can false snap them and get a easy 5 yards. That helps you convert.
It's called
a 1st down.
A non-rhythmic cadence.
Balaj going out into the slot left as a receiver on 2nd down and 7 from the 10-yard line, going right, and the pass is caught, and it's going to be Rashawn Scott, and it looks to be a 1st down for the Dolphins. And it is, does not get out of bounds. The clock continues to run. Pickup of 9 on the play.
Dolphins are in their 2-minute offense.
Osweiler, and he completes it to Thomas Duarte, who does get out of bounds and stops the clock at 1:05 after a 3-yard gain.
And Dick, now the shoe's on the other foot. Now the Dolphins are thinking, hey, first down. Now they're thinking, can we get down and get a score? Whether it's a field goal, touchdown, can we get in position by utilizing the sideline as well as the remaining timeouts?
Now Balaj is back in the game. Actually, he has been in for virtually all of these plays. Now at the 22, 1:05 on the clock. 2 timeouts left. Up the middle, Balaj holds on to it. Despite the hit, manages to keep possession at the 26. Nigel Harris, 4-yard gain. But now we have under a minute remaining. And the clock running. Dolphins still have a timeout in their pocket. Osweiler, short drop. And it's tipped at the line. Pass is incomplete. 39 seconds on the clock, and it was O'Connor who tipped it for the Bucs.
If you're 6'7", should you have any passes blocked?
Only by Gesicki.
Yeah.
There's another look at it. Gets penetration. Isaac Asiata gets beat. He gets
4th down.
Defender gets into the passing lane.
So Matt Hawk will kick it away. 39 seconds to go. Tampa Bay has 1 timeout left. And Bernard Reedy. Good kick by Hawk. And the fair catch at about the 25. So 30 seconds remain in the first half with Tampa Bay leading by 6. And Jameis Winston, see what he can do in just about a half a minute of play to get the Buccaneers into field goal range, and let's see what the Dolphins can do to answer it. Second preseason game come your way a week from tomorrow night against the Carolina Panthers in Charlotte. From the 24. And 1 timeout remaining for the Bucs. Winston swings it out to Brate. Stops the clock. Gets about 5 yards.
Cam Newton next week. The Carolina Panthers.
And
you know, Mike Shula is no longer the offensive coordinator. He moved on to the New York Giants.
Noah Turner.
Pat Shurmur hired him in New York.
Yes. And Norv Turner, you're right on that. He's the new coordinator.
2nd down and 6. Now 26 seconds showing. Plenty of time, and not getting away from the rush and having to throw it away. Incomplete. Jonathan Woodard putting some pressure on, and Jameis Winston quickly throws it away. That's what quarterbacks learn as they get older. Throw the ball away. Don't try to.
It's Woodard. Woodard has showed up a couple times here.
You're right.
He's
You're right.
He's what is he? A first-year free agent? Yeah.
And that's the reason you play these preseason games. If you got a chance to flash, and hopefully that will elevate your status where you got a chance to make this football team.
Exactly.
Or make the Texas squad.
3rd down and 6. And the drilling, a good throw by Winston close to the first down. That was Bobo Wilson. And 14 seconds showing on the clock. That was a gain of 7. And it was a first down, and the Buccaneers call their 3rd and final timeout. They're at the 35.
You know, each team has 90 guys. Eventually, they got to cut to 53. So that's 37 guys on each sideline that won't be here. And you take that times 32 teams, that's 1,200 guys that are going to be out there.
Did you do that math on your phone?
No, I did that. No, I was a math major. I was a math major.
You know, and one of the rules this year, unlike in previous years, is that there used to be a cut down to 75, and at the end of the 3rd game now, the cut down don't come till the end of the fourth game, and now everybody's on the street at the same time.
Right.
6-yard gain, 7 with 39 seconds left.
Now
it'll be second down. Time really running out for Tampa Bay here.
they cut to 53, but then you can bring back, what is it, 10 guys?
You can bring back 10.
10 to be on your practice squad, developmental squad, or whatever they call it.
Second down and 3. 9 seconds on the clock. Here comes the pressure. And the pass caught by Brate, steps out of bounds. 2 seconds to go. Cameron Brate, he's been good on the underneath plays and going out of bounds. But good pressure that time, by the way, on for Gabe Wright and Cameron Malveaux. So Woodard, Malveaux, and Wright.
And guys, you're looking at
doing things.
Tampa Bay running their 2-minute offense. If this was a real game, this was a game during the season, they would have sat on the ball, went inside. They got a 6-point lead. But this is the only opportunity they get live ammo working on their 2-minute drill.
Barring a defensive penalty, this should be the last play of the first half, and they're going to run it to Ronald Jones.
I remember about 40 years ago, Nat, I was in this situation. And I took a knee, and Jewel said, "What are you doing?" I said, "It's a preseason game, and I didn't want to throw the ball. I just took a knee." I went out the clock.
Did the smart thing. Anyway, that's it. At the half, the score, the Bucs 16 and the Dolphins 10. Stay with CBS 4 as we send it back to Rick and Rudabay in our CBS 4 News studios in Miami. And don't miss part 1 of our 4 More on the Fins feature on Dolphins linebacker Raekwon McMillan. Nat, Bob, Kim, and I will be back with Xfinity halftime report in the second half after this news update.
Tonight's halftime report is sponsored by Xfinity. Xfinity delivers the fastest internet with the best in-home Wi-Fi experience. Call, click, or visit an Xfinity store today. Tonight's telecast is also sponsored in part by Audi. Get exceptional offers on select models during the Summer of Audi sales event at your South Florida Audi dealer. And by Duffy's Sports Grill. Online ordering now available at orderduffys.com.
Okay.
Welcome back to Hard Rock Stadium, where at the half, the score, the Buccaneers 16 and the Dolphins 10. As promised, it's time for the Xfinity halftime report. Well, we saw 3 quarterbacks work, and we saw some things that we liked and things that young players did that were impressive. And so I want to get first your impressions. Nat, first, you.
Well, it's quarterback is supposed to be his job, but I know more about it because I'm the one that had to catch his balls. Ironically, they wanted to give Fales and Osweiler a lot of work, and we saw them switching on and off, and I thought that was a good thing.
I liked what Tannehill did in the first quarter, 1 series. He was in there for 11 plays. He was 6 of 10 early on. He got outside the pocket. That was the exact play that he got hurt on last year in practice. He got some good throws in the pocket. He was moving around. He was, 4 of 6 for about 40 yards, and they missed a field goal at the end of that drive. But it was a good drive. It was a good series for him. He got his feet wet, and he's back ready to go.
And, there's a battle for the backup quarterback situation as well. And, you can't always say, well, but Fales did a good job in his time in the first
He had
half.
2 touchdowns, or he had a touchdown and a field goal. That's all the points he got.
Defensively, Nat.
Well, you got to like Minkah Fitzpatrick. He's looking like he's been in this league for a long period of time. Nice job of getting back, reading the coverage, seeing the ball release, and then making plays on the football. Nice job of coming over and separating the receiver from the football there, and then realizing that, he's just going to play linebacker, and he comes up and really lowers the boom. So they talk about this kid being able to do everything. Tonight he's showing you the skill set. And,
Jerome Baker gave a good account of himself as well, the third-round pick from Ohio State. These are the numbers, and, whatever you want to draw conclusions from the statistics, the one thing that you brought up was field position that was really critical, Bob. And, you know, the games are decided by that kind of a thing.
Both teams had the ball 5 times, and the Dolphins were at their own 25 or behind that 5 times, and Tampa Bay was at the 25 or better 5 times. But the one guy that we haven't seen and is not shown up is Minkah Fitzpatrick, the tight end, second-round draft pick from Penn State. You know, he's been doing a lot of good things in practice.
He'll have his time. I mean, he's going to get 2 shots.
He ran a great route, was wide open, and the quarterback was late getting him the ball. So, you know, Mike is playing okay. You know,
I don't think it was the quarterback's
That's the difference in this new team concept. It's about teamwork. It ain't about individuals.
All right. So now we're ready for the start of the second half. The Xfinity halftime report. Hope you enjoyed it. We did.
Yeah, there's Greasy again talking about the quarterbacks, you know.
I don't know why he does that.
You know?
Got to cover for my boys.
And by defensively, I thought the pass rush was better against Winston when he came in than it was early in the game.
Well, look like Fitzpatrick is more of a scrambler, a guy that's looking to find that lane and get out of there real quick. So you almost have to play him straight up where you know Jameis Winston is not really looking to run the football and you can get after him. And the defensive line did that in the second quarter.
Greg Joseph handling the kicking duties now. Sanders started, and Joseph, who when he had one kickoff try, went out of bounds that the Buccaneers took out of the 40-yard line from FAU. Not the only FAU prospect as well, Buddy Howell, who's an undrafted rookie running back. Might get a chance to see him.
And Buddy Howell has also looked very good in practice and awaits his opportunity.
And running it out is Ogunbowale for Tampa Bay. Flag is down at the 30-yard line. You could see it was a holding penalty.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Return team number 46.
Or an illegal block in the back.
10-yard penalty for the spotted foul. First down.
Penalty against the Buccaneers. Let's go down to Kimbo Camper.
All right, Dick caught up with Coach Adam Gase walking off the field, and certainly mixed emotions from him. Offensively, he said he felt like they did a lot of good things in the first half, but the penalty and the turnovers, something they've got to overcome, certainly hurt him. He liked what he saw to David Fales moving the ball down the field, getting the touchdown. Defensively, although they're faced with the short field 3 times, he'd like to see him step up. He wants to see his offense be more consistent, and he wants to see that defense step up and make some of the plays. Kalen Ballage was very happy with what he saw out of Kalen Ballage. Said, I asked him about the fumble. He said, hey, look, rookies are going to do this. It's how they bounce back. They like the way he bounced back, and really like the way David Fales moved the ball and got it into the end zone, guys.
All right, good report, Bo. And first and 10 at the 10-yard line. Ronald Jones gets a couple, and Ballage wound up leading the Dolphins in receiving as well as rushing in that first half. New quarterback is Ryan Griffin. As we've seen, Ryan Fitzpatrick, who will start the year, play the first 3 games with Jameis Winston's suspension, and Winston saw a lot of action as well.
Is this RG3?
Not quite.
Okay.
Ryan Griffin on second down, and makes a good throw. Fumble. That's a fumble, and it's recovered by the Dolphins. And the Dolphins are in business. That was Jordan Lucas.
Jordan Lucas recovers the fumble, but a nice job of getting that ball out. One of the things the Dolphins defensively wanted to work on was getting some takeaways, and that time they were able to knock the ball out from Justin Watson, you know, the 5th-round draft choice from Penn. Just a good job that time by Allen. Ball comes out, and Jordan Lucas right on top of it.
So the Dolphins will try to take advantage of a turnover, as the Buccaneers did when Miami turned it over in the first half, and maybe take their first lead of the game. First down at the 13.
Are they reviewing this?
Well, yeah, they're reviewing, I think, to see if he had possession of the ball and whether it was a catch.
They review all turnovers, by the way. That's automatic, and all scoring plays. Osweiler is in there for the Dolphins at quarterback, and Kalen Ballage Seeing a lot of action. The rookie from Arizona State, in his 4th year, has been very active today. First down on the 13. Delay of the game penalty against Miami. That's the last thing you want to see. That's one of those dead ball fouls, pre-snap penalties that really drive coaches crazy.
Yeah, and that's some of the stuff that Coach Gase was talking about that was happening last year that you're trying to get out of, and getting up to the line of scrimmage, having some urgency, getting the ball snapped, and that's so that you don't get that.
That's on the quarterback. You know, that's on the quarterback. He's got to know he can look right at the clock. It's right there in the end zone.
First down and 15 now. Ball at the 18. And that pass is caught by Duarte. Duarte will have a first down, I believe, or close to it. Let's see, they'll mark it down at the 5, so it'll be a little short. JV and Elliott making the tackle. Gain of 12.
Bob, that was an outstanding throw this time by Osweiler, because you're getting the ball to the tight end with a chance to catch it and turn upfield. Perfect throw, hits him in stride, able to take a short play and make it a big play.
Got it to him quickly, and he can run.
On the practice squad last year, good receiver, and they give it to Balaj on the run pass option, and he is stopped in his tracks. No gain on the play. And that will bring up 3rd down. Osweiler has 20 touchdowns and 21 interceptions in his last 2 years. But Adam Gase sees something in the rangy signal caller. 3rd down and 2. Here's Osweiler, and his pass is knocked down. And it'll go as an incompleted pass. So Osweiler at 6'7", Bob, you brought it up before. How do you get a pass knocked down like that?
Well, first of all, you got to have a quick release to get it past everybody. And also, the offensive linemen need to continue contact with the defensive linemen to get their hands down.
William Golston got his hand up. So now, Greg Joseph, or is it Jason Sanders? Sanders is back in and will try the field goal. This will be a 23-yard attempt to try to bring the Dolphins closer, and the kick is good, and it's now 16-13. So Joseph with a 23-yard field goal, and the Dolphins managed to get 3 after the turnover by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And welcome back to Hard Rock Stadium. It's the opening game of preseason, and the Miami Dolphins climbing and getting close to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, as we've seen after one series by Ryan Tannehill, David Fales, and Brock Osweiler going back and forth. They have their own little battle going for backup quarterback. And Greg Joseph will be kicking off. Ogwabike of the Buccaneers standing at the goal line. And it's a short kick. It'll be run back from the 5-yard line. And the tackle flag goes down at about the 23. Normally that means it's an illegal block in the back or holding. Sean Smith.
During the return, holding, return team number 88. 10-yard penalty from the slide of the foul. First down.
Well, it gives us a chance to welcome Tom Garfinkel, the vice chairman and the president and CEO. I've never been one, so I don't know how to say those letters, Tom. I'm just the announcer of the Miami Dolphins at Hard Rock Stadium. Welcome.
Thanks, Dick. It's great to be here.
Good to be here, and we've got a lot to talk about here, and we will probably before this first play. One thing I wanted to talk about was the news that was made this week, and that is the training facility, practice facility is going to be right here, and that's got to be a big advantage.
Yeah, it's exciting. I think, we've had a great relationship with Nova Southeastern University now for many, many years, and we've kind of just outgrown the facility, so it's time for a new one, and Steve Ross spares no expense to build, we're going to build a best-in-class facility right here in Miami Gardens.
That's what it's going to look like. Pretty impressive. And, you know, so many teams now have their practice facility where they play, all of that.
Yeah, it'll be closer. We get everybody together as one organization. I think being close to the stadium here is an advantage for the football team to be able to come out here and play here at the stadium or practice here sometimes. We'll create all kinds of new amenities, you know, a grass berm for the fans for training camp, and just a best-in-class facility for the guys to, you know, they say buildings don't win games, people do, but I think
it helps.
Be a great one.
Another penalty marker down. Tom Garfinkel has joined us here in the third quarter.
Well, looking at the field, last year the field was a big topic of discussion. What are we doing different, or what have you been able to do to sort of right that ship?
Personal foul.
Yeah, there was a lot of speculation.
Defense, number
We obviously had some challenges with the field last year, mostly aesthetically, I think, and playability-wise. Fortunately, it wasn't an injury issue. I think you know, the NFL, all the NFL metrics and everything said the field was playable, but it certainly wasn't acceptable. So what we discovered, it wasn't what people thought. It wasn't because of the hurricane games. It wasn't because of the roof. We were actually just getting bad sod off the truck from our vendor at the time, a vendor we'd had for a long time. So when we switched vendors, the field problem got fixed, and we're now using the same one we used the end of last year. And the field's been fine tonight. It was great for scrimmage last week. And the big news is we bought about 80 acres. Again, Steve Ross not afraid to go all in, and we bought about 80 acres out in Loxahatchee, Florida, west of Palm Beach out there, and we're going to grow our own sod, and we'll have that up and running by next year. So we'll make sure we can control the quality of the sod, and that'll never happen again.
Is there anything you guys aren't doing to get buttoned up in every area of this operation?
Tom, not only are you building the Dolphin facility, but you got some tennis courts coming in here. How's all this stuff going to impact the parking?
Yeah, so, you know, the parking was designed for 75,000 seats here. So with the capacity reduction down to about 65,000 seats, last year we actually had about 4,000 extra parking spaces. So the tennis takes up about 2,000. So this year we'll have about 2,000 extra parking spaces. Next year, with the training facility going in, hopefully by 2020, we'll still have enough parking for everybody. And you know, the good news is for season ticket members who were able to park in the inner lots last year, they're all going to be able to park in the inner lots again this year. So, you know, people are concerned about parking, but we really had excess to begin with.
11-yard run by Bobo Wilson and a first down for the Buccaneers up to the 44.
Well, when you think about Steve Ross and how much he's invested in Hard Rock Stadium to become a global entertainment area, what does that say about Steve Ross's commitment to South Florida?
Well, you know, if you look at, again, we went out to build a global entertainment destination here at Hard Rock Stadium, and I think, you know, bringing in the Clasico, Real Madrid, Barcelona, the soccer matches that we're having, the concerts, we've got Taylor Swift coming next week, Jay-Z, Beyonce coming the end of August, the national championship game coming in 2021, the Super Bowl coming in 2020, obviously the hurricane games, everything we've got going on here, I think we've delivered on that promise, and it's only possible because of Steve Ross's commitment to now over $600 million into this facility, and I think we're all lucky to have him. He does everything first class. He's not afraid to do things the right way, and all those things are great for South Florida because of his commitment.
Gabe Wright, by the way, putting pressure on the last time. On that last play. So the teamwork between the football operation, fascinating to watch, and the business operation, because they really go hand in glove.
Yeah, the most important thing we do as an organization is go out and try to win championships. And, you know, I'm just here to support those guys. They make the decisions on the personnel and on what they're doing on the field. And I'm here to really try to support them. And I think getting everybody closer together in the parking lot instead of 13 miles away just helps communication. At the end of the day, you know, these guys are working their tails off. They're doing everything they can to go out and try to win and bring us back the, you know, that championship tradition of the Miami Dolphins.
Well, I know that one of the big features of the Miami Dolphins is teamwork at work. So tell us a little bit about that, Tom.
Well, that really originated from Coach Gase and his staff, and you know, I think, you know, the theme in there this year, and I don't know that it's not up on all the walls necessarily, but it's really about the team. You know, they've got a group of guys out there that are just focused on each other. They're focused on the teamwork. There's not a lot of individuals worried about themselves. You know, what I've seen from guys, and that you're out there all the time too. I mean, you see guys like Raekwon McMillan You see guys like, what Minkah Fitzpatrick is bringing as a leader, and you just see their focus, their commitment. There's an article written recently about, the day Minkah signed his contract, he's back in there having a second workout at 9 o'clock at night in the facility by himself. If that's how that's how a young guy celebrates his signing a multi-million-dollar contract, is getting back in there and working. I think we're picking the right guys. So he played great tonight so far too.
Yeah,
he's made some plays.
Yeah,
it's exciting.
Your feeling on this team. You've been with all the work you do business-wise and all this, you're getting to see them. You get to talk to Mike and Chris and Adam. Your overall impression.
Well, I really believe in these guys. If people could see what I see and how hard they work and how much they care and how badly they want to win, this is the National Football League. It's not easy. There's a lot of things that go into it. So far, things are going really well. It's very early. The energy in camp has been fantastic. I think anybody's been around it. This will be my 6th season now, and it's the best I've seen. I don't know if hopefully that translates into wins. I've been in sports a long time, and learning humbles you pretty fast, so I'm not going to necessarily make any predictions, but I certainly like what I see. I like what we're building. I like the players Chris and his team are drafting, and I'm excited about the future here.
Well, Tom is very humble, but
I can tell. I know.
But there's a couple players out there that he really liked.
Really?
He has an eye for talent. Every time I show up, he's there. So give us the game of football. Give us the guy that nobody's thinking about that you think is got a chance to make this team.
Got a chance to make the team?
Make this team.
Well, it's unfair for me to say the guy's going to make the team because it's not up to me.
I say got a chance.
I didn't say make the team. Asking you the question.
Those aren't my decisions.
That's why you're asked the question.
I love the game of football, but those aren't my decisions. I let those guys do their job.
Right. It's called do your job, right? Just do your job. So it'll be 4th down and 1, and teams normally would automatically go for the field goal, and it looks like they may be going for the 1st down, and the Dolphins want to make sure they have the right defensive players on the field. This has been an impressive drive by Ryan Griffin, helped along by some penalties. So 4th and 1, Buccaneers going for it from the Dolphin 29. High snap, Okwuegbike, and dives forward, close to it. I wish this long drive were sponsored by the Miami Dolphins so that you could be here talking about seeing Miami driving for something. It is a 1st down for Tampa Bay.
I do think we have a lot of depth this year. I like you look at the defensive end position, you look at the competition in the corner position, the safety position. Certainly, I think we have some depth this year that we haven't had in recent years, and that's what it takes to win in this league. So it's exciting to see.
Great additions too, I believe. That's an incompleted pass, I believe. Yes, an incomplete pass at the 20-yard line. I think the additions are good, really good ones this year. And you've seen the likes, and you get people from good programs and draftees from good schools. You got to have a leg up.
These are serious guys. Again, Raekwon and Minkah in particular for me are guys that you just watch their leadership. I think Raekwon's established himself as a real leader in that locker room, as a young guy who hasn't even really played in a regular season game yet. So just the way he carries himself, the way he works, guys follow him.
Griffin on 2nd down completes the pass, but upended is Bobo Wilson. He's no Bobo. Cornell Armstrong making the tackle and a gain of 1. And how about Balazs? A lot of action.
He's a big guy. Yes. I'll tell you what.
Yes, he is.
Great kid. Just he scored 8 touchdowns in one game at Arizona State. But he's another guy. Just works real hard. Eric Stutzville, our new running backs coach, is a fantastic coach. So watch him work with these guys has been exciting. And Frank Gore, what he's brought to Balazs and to Drake, both from a competition standpoint, just kind of teach them the right way to do things, has been great.
And there's a completion and a 1st down to the 14-yard line. That pass to Alan Cross for 13 yards.
Dolphins get caught in a zone defense, and linebacker overreads it.
So what's the next thing you're working on? What's of all of the things?
Well, I think the training facility now becomes front and center, trying to get that design. The rendering you saw is a conceptual rendering, and we've got to get into the nitty-gritty details on that. And then certainly just, getting ready here with the season starting. We're looking forward to September 9th. We're looking forward to being sold out for all of our games, 8 regular season games this year, and putting on a great show for all the fans and hopefully winning a lot of football games. So I'm looking forward to seeing the sun come out in September at 1 o'clock. And I'm hoping some of the opposing teams throwing up in the end zone over there like last year.
Well, the Tennessee Titans will be an interesting first game and a chance to get out on a head start. 5-yard gain on the previous play. Here's Charles Sims. And Woodard making the play. Loss of 1.
Vincent Taylor having a nice game. Once again gets penetration, forces the back inside.
Tom, you're going to become distinguished being the first interview that has taken an entire quarter, that we have had since we've talked to you guys. Well, we're glad to have you here.
Hopefully we get a turnover right here, and that'll be good luck. You'll have to have me on, crucial moments.
3rd down and 6. And the pass into the end zone, and it is caught for the touchdown by Alan Cross.
And it turns out I'm Eddie Mush. So
not the way we drew it up, right, Tom? Well, I want to thank you for coming and joining us and giving your thoughts on the football and what's going on your end of it.
Thank you, Dick. Appreciate it, and really looking forward to a great season. It's an exciting time for the Dolphins, and I think I like what I see. I'm excited about the team. We got a great fan base that loves this team, and we're very thankful for that. So
great history.
Look forward to seeing everybody out here soon.
Tom Garfinkel, Vice Chairman and President and CEO of the Dolphins and Hard Rock Stadium. Extra point coming up. Catanzaro, as the Buccaneers now lead 22-13. And now stretch their lead to 10. 23-13 with 5:39 to go in the 3rd quarter. And we'll be right back. Back here at Hard Rock Stadium, I want to remind you to listen to tonight's game in Spanish. Be sure to enable the secondary audio programming or SAP button on your viewing device. SAP services tonight are brought to us courtesy of Duffy's Sports Grill. Coming up tonight, don't miss the Fantasy 5 winning numbers in the news following the game, and only on CBS 4, your official Florida lottery station. Catanzaro will be kicking to Jalen Davis, rookie from Utah State. Defensive back, and this one is going to sail deep, and Davis is going to run it out from 9 yards, and why not? Preseason wouldn't happen in the regular season by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, that was some of the stuff that Coach Rizzi talked to us about, an opportunity to bring it out and see if you can't pop one. And if you're Jalen Davis, you want to take as many opportunities as you can to show that you can play at this level.
David Fales back in at quarterback for the Dolphins, who trail now by 10 points with 5:35 to go in the 3rd. Sonoris Perry, who has scored a touchdown, had a sizzling series when the Dolphins cut the lead to 16-10 on the touchdown. He had 34 yards and 3 carries on that drive. Starting from the 19-yard line. Fails. Plenty of time, going deep, double coverage, and the catch is made by Francis Owusu.
What a great throw that was.
Against 2 defenders.
Outstanding job by Owusu of tracking the football, going up between 2 defenders and making the grab.
David Fales stepping up in the pocket. He's got time to throw. This is right on the money. Double coverage, and he lays it right in there.
45-yard play and a first down on the 36 of Tampa Bay. And they're quick to Owusu. Can't get away this time. And a minimal gain of a couple of yards.
Let's go back and take a look at this catch. This is just a post pattern. Nice throw, throws it directly over the safety's head where he cannot locate the football, but a good job of tracking that ball all the way into his arms. Great blocking by the offensive line. Plenty of time to step up and launch this football. Good clean pocket, Bob.
He had to wait. He waited and waited. He had the time. Good blocking by the offensive line.
2nd down and 7, and here's Perry. Perry picks up maybe a yard. William Golston is right there for the Buccaneers. By the way, Tampa Bay was 32nd in the league, last in the league in passing defense. Their defensive coordinator is Mike Smith, formerly head coach of the Atlanta Falcons.
And guys, this offensive line is made up of the the second and third unit guys, so a little mismatch there.
That's the depth that they like here.
Oh, yes.
So it's 3rd down and 6 on the Bucs 32. See what Fales does on 3rd down, and it's complete to Perry, and he is tackled quickly by Nigel Harris. Does not get the 1st down. Longtime coach, head coach, coordinator behind that post. Take my word for it, it's Mike Smith. There he is. Field goal attempt coming up for Greg Joseph. 53-yard. No, make it a 48-yard try. 48-yard field goal. Joseph in that battle with Sanders. And the kick is good. Going to help his cause without question. So with under 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter, the Dolphins get a field goal, still trail the Bucs 23-16. And we're back, and earlier tonight we asked you to participate in our trivia question brought to you by Jeep. The question was, Frank Gore is one of the 3 former Miami Hurricanes who rushed for over 10,000 yards in his NFL career. And we asked if you could name the other 2, and we gave you a chance, and we're going to give you the answer after the kick. You can guess. Don't use your phone. Don't Google it. You can do that. People do that now.
I think I know. I won't be guessing. I think I know.
Okwuegbikwe is deep. Greg Joseph kicking off. Write it down. No, I don't want to tell the folks yet. Wait until after the kick. Matt Moore's going to write down what his guess is. And this kick, Okwuegbikwe is going to run it out from 2 yards in the end zone. Trying to turn the corner, and a good special teams tackle made on the 14th.
Edgerrin James has got to be one of them.
You're right about that.
And I think the other, somebody's going to think it was from that same era, but I will go back to Chuck Foreman.
Good try.
Otis Anderson?
Yes. Otis Anderson and Edgerrin James.
Yeah, I forgot about Otis being in St. Louis before he went to the Giants.
Good, though. Good.
Yeah.
And you didn't peek at the card. That's what I really appreciate about it.
I did in the end. When you were looking at it, I looked at it too.
Well,
my name's not Stevie.
I was reading it. All right, 1st and 10 at the 16 for the Bucs. Ryan Griffin remains the quarterback. Led him on an impressive drive the last time around. And the handoff is to Charles Sims, who's been around a long time in Tampa Bay, and Anthony Moten from U of M make the play. No gain on the play. By the way, that last drive by Griffin was an 88-yard drive, 17 plays. You don't often see that many plays anymore.
By a 3rd stringer.
Yes. Sims, a couple of yards. And it will be 3rd down and long for Ryan Griffin.
You know, one of the things that our defense has to improve on this year is the takeaways and the interceptions, the fumble recoveries. We were 28th out of 32 teams and taking the ball away last year.
Catch is made and the tackle is made, and that's a big one. Tavise Calhoun, who had seen action with the Saints, played one game with them, makes a first down saving tackle, forcing the Bucs to punt it away.
Free agent this year, pickup, originally out of Mississippi State University.
Matt Burke is fired up down there.
Yeah. I mean, when you got these young guys in there, this is their opportunity to show and flash, and you know, it gets the coach excited when they execute the defense the way you've tried to teach it to them.
Brian Anger will kick, and it's a short kick, but a high kick, and the Dolphins will get good field position, I think, for the first time tonight, Bob.
Yeah, yeah.
They will. We're back at Hard Rock Stadium, and now it's time for tonight's Kids Camp, presented by Florida Blue. Great to see the kids.
That's my favorite part of the show. The kids.
You know, if you get the kids liking football and liking to watch the NFL early, stays with you. Especially the young girls. And Osweiler in the quarterback throws an incompleted pass. Well, what happens when the friendliest guy in the Midwest moves his family to LA? Well, find out as Cedric the Entertainer stars in CBS's newest comedy, The Neighborhood. Mondays this fall on CBS 4, the official home of your Miami Dolphins. 46 seconds remain in this third quarter. Buccaneers lead 23-16 over the Dolphins. It'll be 2nd and 10 at the 39 for Brock Osweiler. Up the middle, and the pass is caught by Owusu, and he has a first down. That's a good catch and a good run by Owusu to get the first.
Well, it's almost a good run because he got the first, but once again he hesitated. You know, he caught a quick screen out there after making the great catch, and he's faking and faking. You only fake an air. Make a move and get upfield.
Nobody there.
Yeah. Here's another look at it as he crosses. Now right here, just turn upfield. You know, you're dancing, you're giving away yards. You got a chance to split those guys.
1st and 10 at the midfield stripe. 5 seconds to go. And going deep for Owusu. And the pass is incomplete. And again, double coverage, and you wonder whether he might have been fouled on that one.
Guys, he didn't make this catch, but it shows you how well he tracks the ball in the air. This ball is almost on the ground, and he comes very close to making the catch as it goes by the defender. Just great vision on the football.
And that is the end of the third quarter here at Hard Rock Stadium.
There's another look at it. I mean, most receivers would have gave up on it.
He's shown something tonight, including the big catch on a 45-yard play. 23-16, Bucs over the Dolphins. Fourth quarter coming up. Hard Rock Stadium, fourth quarter. Dick Stockton, Nat Moore, Bob Greasy, Kim Bokamper with you as the Dolphins trail by a touchdown. They'll have a 2nd and 10 at midfield. Brock Osweiler handing off to Howell, and Buddy Howell from FAU.
Also from Coral Gables High School, same as Frank Gore.
Yep.
Buddy Howell averaged over 5 yards a rush and 2,400 yards in his 4-year career. There's Frank Gore. You see him in action before long in this preseason. 3rd down and 3 now for Brock Osweiler. Looking, throwing, incomplete, intended for Drew Morgan. He was hit by the defender, but not hold on. So it's 4th down and 3, and the Dolphins will go for it on 4th and 3. These are the situations you follow and find in the regular season when you're trailing and you're in this situation.
Dolphins went for it 24 times last year, only converted 7 at 29%. So
yeah,
another opportunity to work on it.
And the Dolphins were the worst in the league on converting third downs. I got an idea about how they can convert on third downs.
Trying to convert on fourth down here. They did earlier in the game on a 4th and 2. Here's Osweiler's pass, and it's going to be caught first down by Drew Morgan.
Good route, good throw, good protection. Leads to a positive
9 yards in the process.
Morgan was lined up in the slot, and he probably had a choice, that or an option to run the route inside or out, and that's what they need to do more of. Run those short routes, high percentage throw.
Dolphins get to the 34 now of the Buccaneers, needing a touchdown to tie. And here is Howell. Loses the ball. Yes. Fumble. And now they say he was down by contact.
Ruling on the field as the runner was down by contact. Second down.
So 2 FAU hopefuls, Buddy Howell, the running back, and Greg Joseph, the place kicker. 2nd and 6. And the challenge. Here comes the challenge. Dirk Cutter talking with Sean Smith. First challenge we've had in the game. Looked like he was down.
Yeah.
We'll be back. Well, Sean Smith went under the hood.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Tampa is charged with their first team timeout.
Good coaching by Adam Gase of getting his guys up on the ball in a hurry, forcing Tampa Bay to challenge and waste a timeout.
Often teams get up to the line because they think it may go against them and they want to get the next play underway before the challenge, but this does force the coach to do something.
Well, and that's part of the preseason as well. Coaches getting their feet wet, getting in the sync with things that they would want to do naturally.
So it'll be 2nd down and 6 at the 30-yard line. The Dolphins have trailed all the way in this game, down by as many as 10 points on 2 occasions. And here's Osweiler. He's got time and going into the end zone, and the it's going to be ruled touchdown. Malcolm Lewis turned around, kept his feet in bounds, made the catch, a 30-yard play. That's spectacular, guys.
And guys, this is a back shoulder. Whether he ends up with the touchdown or not, the effort is outstanding.
Well, the official is right there.
Runs a move route. He doesn't bite on it. He didn't get the right foot down.
No.
It's still.
He had a receiver on this side of the field that was wide open in the end zone.
Well, the official was.
Yep. He only got
that wasn't
one
even
in.
close.
Yeah. But
it wasn't close. So now 3rd down and 6. Crowd not happy with that call. It was the right call. Pressure coming up the middle, and the pass is caught. It'll be a 1st down to the 20-yard line. Rashawn Scott on the receiving end.
Nice play by Osweiler there. Blitz coming. He gave some ground and threw the ball off the back foot, but he right on target.
But what he does here is he takes something off the football. He didn't gun it. He just lobbed it out there. You know, sometimes you let your receiver come and help you out by putting a little air under the ball.
Good touch, 10 yards. So now 1st down to the 20. And here's Howell. Howell picks up a couple. Well, the Dolphins in field goal range, but they're looking for the touchdown that would tie the game. 3-yard pickup that time for Buddy Howell. 2nd down and 7. On the 17. So a lot of hurry up and lining up quickly. Actually, both teams tonight. Very little lollygagging around. Osweiler, and it's deflected again. Osweiler had his pass. That's the 3rd time that's happened tonight.
Yeah, you know what it is. He's just looking where he's throwing it, and then everybody's going to put their hands up. You need to look off the defensive line sometimes and get the ball past their hands.
Well, and you'll also, Bob, I think the offensive linemen are backing up instead of engaging, which gives the defensive line great vision on the quarterback and a chance to know when to get their hands up.
Brandon Radcliffe is coming at running back. He did pretty well in the scrimmage last week. 3rd down and 7 from the 17. Big 3rd down play. Osweiler looks one way and finds Radcliffe. Radcliffe gets the 1st down inside the 10-yard line. That time Osweiler didn't stare down his receiver. He looked away, and 9 yards on the play. It'll be 1st and goal, Dolphins.
Not only did he look away, he pumped to the other side, knowing that he had Radcliffe coming loose underneath, and then got him the football. A nice job of running after the catch to secure the 1st down.
1st and goal at the 8. Here's Radcliffe. Still on his feet. And gets to the 5. Pick up at 3 yards. It'll be 2nd and goal now at the 5. Plenty of time, of course. Over 11 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter.
Radcliffe, a free agent from Louisville. He's
from Columbus High School.
Columbus High School.
Yes. 2nd and goal from the 5-yard line. Osweiler trying to get the Dolphins into the end zone. And false start. That was on Connor Hilland, undrafted rookie from William and Mary.
There's another look at it, and he comes up out of his stance.
You can't do that.
Know? And sometimes, Bob, you know, when you're trying to use cadence, do you let your offensive line know that that's what you're going to do?
No, you don't use it down inside the 5-yard line.
So
or
now
inside the 10.
Yeah, right.
You don't do it down there.
So now instead of 2nd and goal at the 5, they're at the 10-yard line, and this pass incomplete, intended for Malcolm Lewis. So now it'll be 3rd and goal at the 10-yard line. And Tell you.
You never use cadence. You never try to pull your guys off inside the 5-yard line because they're going to back you up 5 yards, and whatever you go to gain, it's only going to be a yard or two if you do get the defense to jump. So, no, I never use the cadence down there.
Third and goal. Osweiler completes the pass, and Radcliffe is tackled at the 4 by Cameron Lynch, so it'll bring up 4th and goal. Now, normally you'd say, no, let's get the 3 points because we got 10 minutes to go in the game, but this is a different story.
Is it preseason?
It's preseason.
I think it is.
It's preseason, but we've been down here 3 times and have kicked field goals. Right. Adam wants 6.
But normally this would be
normally.
Right.
Well, this is not normal.
No, it isn't. And neither are we. Okay, 4th and goal at the 3, and a timeout is called.
Timeout. Tampa.
By the Buccaneers, calling their first of 3 timeouts. They want to make sure they get the right people up there for the personnel they're going to face. They have 1 timeout left. That's the second one. That's right. There was an early one.
Yeah, you forgot about that. See, I told you Adam Gase was thinking when he forced him to throw that red flag and waste the timeout.
That's right. That cost the timeout.
All right.
I tell you, you know what, Matt, you should have been a coach.
No, I'd rather be your sidekick. I have more fun.
I'm glad. Well, here's tonight's game navigator brought to you by Lincoln. Well, the home game will be against the Ravens. That'll be interesting. Lamar Jackson, maybe we'll see him. And, of course, the last game against the Falcons on the road 10 days before the opening of the season. Okay, it'll be 4th and goal at the 3. And the Buccaneers have, indeed, that was right, only 1 timeout left. Here's Osweiler looking. Osweiler backing up off balance, and his pass incomplete. Incomplete is his pass, and he was going for Lewis. And Tampa Bay will take over on downs. Osweiler didn't have much chance here, backing up off balance.
Yeah, they come with a blitz. More people than the Dolphins can block.
So, again, a penalty at the wrong time. Does you in. We'll be back in a moment, and the Buccaneers still lead by 7. And welcome back to Hard Rock Stadium. The Buccaneers lead the Dolphins 23-16 as the Dolphins attempting to go for it on 4th down. See if they could get it in there, couldn't, and so the Bucs take over on downs. Start from the 4 with Ryan Griffin. He's played pretty well for a 3rd stringer, and his handoff is to Ugu Buwakli. And Pittman on the tackle as we go to Kimbo Camper.
All right, Dick, time for the week that was presented by Jeep. And look who showed up at Dolphin training camp this week. None other than Rob Ryan, one of the Ryan brothers. Spent the week at practice observing, talking to coaches and players. When asked if he would offer a job, Adam Gase said simply, hey, he hasn't asked for one, so I haven't offered one. The team also announced this week that they'll be moving their practice facility adjacent to Hard Rock Stadium. Work will start soon. They expect to open it by 2020. I know you talked about that with Tom Garfinkel up in the box, and it should really bring this team together with the football side and the business side and the sales side together. So that'll be done by 2020. A lot of big things happen here at the stadium, and a lot of big things happening this last week.
Thank you, Bo. And there's Rob Ryan on the sidelines, and you're right, a lot of team penalties against Tampa Bay.
Number 83 was covering 81. Half the distance penalty from the previous spot. Replay second
Illegal
down.
formation called against the Buccaneers, so they're going to spot this at about the 3-yard line. But, you know, the practice facility being here, a lot of teams are doing that. Not only the training where they play and practice.
Well, I just think it's great when you can actually practice right at the facility you're going to play at, because you get used to being there. I mean, I think so many times being 20 miles away, 15 miles away, you've got to pick up everything, bring it down to the stadium, and then you don't get a chance to really be a part of the total organization. You got the football side up here, you got the business side down here, and all of a sudden now we're going to all be together, and we preach teamwork. We preach that culture, so now we're getting closer to making that happen.
Jake Lamplin caught a 12-yard pass. And this time Quentin Poling stops Ogunbowale. No gain. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 15-yard line. Under 8 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. Dolphins have trailed all the way. Trailing 6-0, 6-3, then by 10 points. They were down 16-3 at one point. Cut it to 6. And that's as close as they've been. 2nd and 10. Ryan Griffin swings it out, and the pass is caught. Gain of 4. Well, before you make plans, find out what Setzer says about your weather. Chief Meteorologist Craig Setzer, weeknights on CBS 4, the official home of your Miami Dolphins. By the way, Jordan Lucas made sure that Hudson wasn't going to get any more yards. 3rd down and 6 at the 19. See the kind of pressure they could put on Griffin. He gets it away, and I believe the catch is made by Sergio Bailey for the 1st down. Armstrong on the coverage, and getting out of trouble of the Buccaneers. They get 17 yards on this play out to the 36.
This was good throw, right in between 2 defensive backs.
It was actually good coverage also by the DB, and Sergio just made an outstanding catch. I thought that number 31, Cornell Armstrong, was in good shape, but it was just, like you say, perfectly thrown football.
Sergio Bailey making another reception for 6 yards.
All right, I got a trivia question for that. What do you give me that look for?
No, it's great.
What do you give me that
look?
look? I mean, the fans at home can play along.
Well,
see if they can beat that.
2nd down and 3, and on the slant pattern, a 1st down into Dolphin territory. A gain of 10. Jake Lampman tackled by Jonathan Alston, undrafted rookie from North Carolina. Okay, I'm dying. What is the trivia question?
3-part question. Who won the Super Bowl last year?
Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
That's 1.
What was their record the year before?
Not good.
What was their record when they won the Super Bowl? 16-3. What was the record the year before they won the Super Bowl?
You're probably going to say 3-16.
Or 4-12.
4-12.
No. It was 7-9. So they went from 7-9 and not in the playoffs to 16-3 and won the Super Bowl. What was their record 2 years before they went to Super Bowl? They were 7-9 again. They went 7-9 back to back, and then they win the Super Bowl. Don't you think the NFL loves that?
That's great stuff.
Yeah.
I wonder if he stayed up all night thinking about this.
I think he did. Griffin on the run, completes the pass to Irvin Phillips. I tell you, Griffin has some
mobility
stuff to him.
He's moving around the pocket, getting the ball off.
Yeah.
Making
you know, what's interesting about
sharp throws.
Talking about the Eagles is that they kept Foles. You know, everything where they're going to give him away. Wentz is coming back. Well, Wentz isn't coming back that fast, it doesn't look like. And it's a good thing they have Nick Foles.
And they went back to back 7-9, and they win the Super Bowl, but they win the Super Bowl with a backup quarterback.
Yeah. That's the next. Yeah.
I mean, when you
what
look
was their record 3 years ago?
7-9.
This is Groundhog Day. I've seen this movie.
I thought you had him.
This is movie Groundhog Day.
But you know the NFL loves that.
We got 7-9.
A team that can have 2 losing seasons can then the next season go to the Super Bowl and win with a backup quarterback.
But if you look at that football team, they were able to build that depth that Adam talks about, knowing that if a guy goes down, you got 2 or 3 guys behind him that can play.
So important. 2nd and 10 on the 35. Ukwebike is going to be stopped. Speaking of the Philadelphia Eagles and the effect the Tampa Bay Buccaneers revamped their defensive line this year. Vinny Curry and Bo Allen.
Yep.
Two former Eagles are now on that line, along with Jason Pierre-Paul, the former Giant, teaming with Gerald McCoy.
Yeah.
So that defensive line, that pass rush should be a little bit better because the defense was lax. The offense was solid.
But that shows you why it's so important that you have depth, because once you become one of the better teams in the league, everybody's going to try and raid you. And if you don't have talent behind it, you're sort of in a pickle barrel.
3rd down and 10. And they made it tough for Ryan Griffin that time to get rid of the ball. Some good pressure. Collins and Calhoun, especially Collins here. Kason Collins from North Carolina.
Real good coverage by Collins.
So it'll be 4th down with 3:24 to go. And there'll be a long field goal try coming up for Chandler Catanzaro. Missed the extra point on the first touchdown by Tampa Bay. Kind of redeemed himself. Let's see what happens on this 53-yard attempt. And a whistle. Timeout Tampa Bay, and that's their 3rd and final.
Wow.
Timeout. Tampa. Team's 3rd and final.
So Dirk Cutter uses his last timeout. As Nat Moore astutely pointed out, lost one on the challenge that went by the boards. Well, fans, with the score 23-16, this is preseason, but experience the home opener live in the all-new Hard Rock Stadium and help us create a home field advantage. Join us as we open the regular season September 9th. September 9th, he said, versus the Tennessee Titans, presented by Publix. A limited number of tickets remain. Visit Dolphins.com to secure your seats now. All right, after the Bucs use their 3rd and final timeout, Catanzaro will attempt the 53-yard field goal to try to give the Buccaneers a 10-point lead with 3:24 to go. The Dolphins have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. And Catanzaro's kick. And it's no good, off to the right. So Catanzaro misses a long field goal and an extra point, and Taviz Calhoun says, in the game we are, and down by 7. And tonight's game-changing performance or moment is brought to you by Geico. Guys,
there's a look at the #1 draft pick out of Alabama, Minkah Fitzpatrick, coming over, laying the boom, forcing the incompletion, and then coming up again on a crossing route. You know, this guy is strong, he's quick, he's smart, reads his cues, and gets up and makes game-changing plays.
He's smart. That's the thing I like.
Bryce Petty is in at quarterback with 3:19 to go. And he swings it out to Buddy Howell. Howell breaks a couple of tackles. Nifty run by Howell as he gets inside the Buccaneer 40-yard line. Swing pass, and Howell does the rest to the tune of 18 yards.
And that's really a big asset for a football team when you can get the ball out in the flat to your back and they can pick up, 10, 12 yards on just a swing pass. Nice job of catching the football. And this time, instead of running over him, he fakes him out. I mean, just outstanding job of trying to impress the coaches.
Yes,
that's what it's all about.
He's on that list. He's like 5th or 6th on the running back
list. How about
list.
Perry doing well tonight as well? So a first down on the 39 with 2:45 now remaining in the 4th quarter. Dolphins down by 7. And here's Bryce Petty, the former New York Jet, and another completion. This to the 16-yard line. Owusu, he has looked good tonight, Owusu. 23 yards on that one.
He finds a way to get open, and if the ball is in his area, he catches the football. He goes down, makes sure the catch, pops that head down on the football, makes sure that he sees it into his grasp.
So the ball on the 16, Bryce Petty, who has started 7 games for the New York Jets the last 2 years, has the Dolphins on the run as we approach the 2-minute warning. And here is the pass into the end zone, high, and overthrows Durham Smythe, tight end former Notre Dame player, was taken on the 4th round by the Dolphins this season.
Better known as a great blocker when he was at Notre Dame, but you know, when he did catch the football, it was for big yardage, as he averaged a little over 13 yards per catch.
They took tight ends on the 2nd and 4th rounds, with Gesicki on the 2nd round and Smythe on the 4th. So we'll probably be at the 2-minute warning after this play. 2nd down and 10 from the 16. Handoff is to Howell. Howell to the 10, and Howell gets hit and knocked away. M.J. Stewart, 11-yard gain. And the 2-minute warning is upon us as the Dolphins threaten on the verge of perhaps tying this game. Good run. Let me see this tackle again. And what about the helmet there?
Look,
I think the helmet was there. 2-minute warning. We'll be back. A lot of people wondering, was this a helmet play lowering the head? And it was a shoulder play, right?
Yeah, they both hit shoulders, and that's the reason it wasn't called. You didn't see either helmet hit the other one. They both dropped their helmet, but they both collided with shoulders.
Right.
So good no call by the official.
All right, 2-minute warning. It's 1:56 officially. It'll be 1st and goal at the 6 for the Dolphins. Bryce Petty trying to lead a game tying or perhaps winning if they can score. Maybe go for the 2-point conversion. Petty quickly gets it out to Ford. Touchdown, Isaiah Ford. Petty didn't waste any time. Bang, bang, play all the way, Nat Moore.
Yeah, he knew what he wanted. You got the blitz. You just got to get the ball out of your hand. You got a blocker out front with Smythe, and Ford catches the football, gets into the end zone. You know, this is a kid that has really looked good. He's been a little banged up in practice. You know, he always great effort, dives for the football. Now, watch this. This is a no-nonsense. He knows what he's got to get. He's not trying to fake anybody out. He's trying to get in the end zone. Lower shoulder and gets in.
2-point play right here.
Yep. Going for it right here. Score is 23-22. This is the closest the Dolphins have been. Bryce Petty fires, and it's caught for the 2-point conversion to Ford again. Isaiah Ford.
Bryce Petty.
Nice throw by Bryce Petty.
Bryce.
Boy, that had to be on the numbers right away.
And he threw it to a point and allowed Ford to go get it. I mean, you know, I talked earlier in the broadcast about how Ford looked in practice, how hard he worked. Now you're seeing that hard work pay off.
Tough throw to make here over a defender, and great concentration.
Good separation by the wide receiver, getting open in the back of the end zone.
So the 6-yard touchdown pass by Petty, and then the 2-point conversion going right back to Isaiah Ford. And the Dolphins lead for the first time tonight, 24-23, with 1:50 to go.
There's another look at it. Great separation.
Perfect throw, too.
They work a lot on this play down around the goal line with the slot receiver coming out on a corner route.
But there were 2 receivers lined up on that side, to the wide side, and he threw it to the slot guy. And what he was seeing was, I'm going to throw it to the slot, to the corner of the end zone, and I'm just going to lay it out there and let my man run to it.
Well, and it came out so early because he was able to pre-snap read to see it's going to be man coverage. I got something coming underneath that's going to hold the corner, and I got all that room out to the flat.
5 plays, 57 yards, and they did it in 1 minute and 29 seconds.
It took the Dolphins
and they go to
this long to get ahead.
That's right.
So here's the question. You know, we were talking about Tampa Bay using his last timeout. It's a minute 50, and now they have no timeouts. If it was not preseason, do you think he'd have used that last timeout for the field goal, Troy?
No.
For the challenge.
Well, You know, they have people upstairs that say, you know, you should challenge this one. Anyway, it's going to be good experience for Ryan Griffin to have to go 75 yards with no timeouts. He's looked good so far, and now they have a first down with Urban Phillips, undrafted rookie from Syracuse, getting 12 yards. Clock is running, nearly a minute and a half to go. Dolphins want to keep him in play, no out of bounds passes up the middle. Ogwubike breaks a tackle and on his feet. So one of the Dolphins had him down but missed the tackle, and it'll be a first down at the 45.
The defense
Taviz Calhoun had a chance at it.
Defense has got to stop him. The clock is not going to stop him.
18 yards on that play. They're going to get more here. And the pass is complete to Sergio Bailey, and Calhoun makes the tackle.
Now, if you're one of these defensive players that you're on this third or fourth team, here is your opportunity to make a play. And here's a chance to impress the coaches.
Keep them out of field goal range. They're close to it already. And this one is caught by Sergio Bailey again, and now they are in field goal range and don't even need a timeout. 40 seconds to go, and they're going to line up. They're going to have time. That was a 21-yard play, and so Ryan Griffin, who has really been impressive tonight in a backup rule, and finally a timeout is called by the Dolphins.
Because it doesn't make any difference. They're already in field goal.
Yes.
And you want to reserve as much time as possible to give yourself the same opportunity that Tampa has been able to accomplish, which is to move the ball down the field with a chance to kick a winning field goal.
So stopping the clock, not a priority for the Dolphins right now. They know that at worst the Buccaneers will have a try at a field goal to try to win it. 38 seconds left. It'll be a first down on the Dolphins 17. Dirk Cutter. You know, as games go, they don't count, but everyone wants to win it. It's been pretty tight. Fun game to watch.
It's been a good game, especially for the #1 preseason game. You know, if this was Game 3, you'd be a little disappointed, but being the first preseason game, it's been pretty entertaining.
Wali is the running back, and he gets the call. Dives to the 15, gain of 2. Timeout Dolphins.
Timeout. Miami, team second.
They have one timeout remaining, does Miami. And there you saw Darren Rizzi talking with Adam Gase. What the strategy will be when the Buccaneers try a field goal to win the game. What kind of play they could have going there.
But right now, if you're a leader in that huddle, you're saying you know they're going to run the football, tackle the football. Let's see if we can't get it out. Here's an opportunity to make a play. Hold him up, somebody comes in, scripts the ball out, and we go home with a victory.
Second down and 8 from the 15. Another running play and getting inside the 10, short of a first down by a yard. And the Dolphins have called their third and final timeout.
That's the team third.
26 seconds to go. This game is going down to the wire.
Yeah.
6 yards on that play.
Well, I'll say this. Both sides are getting a good look at their second, third, and fourth stringers.
And they have played decently tonight, I would think.
And guys, when you think about the way teams practice now, there are no such thing as two-a-days. They have walkthroughs. You're only 12 days that you can put on all your pads, full padding. So these are critical moments for coaches to make intelligent decisions.
Game on the line here. Catanzaro will attempt a 26-yard field goal with Ryan Griffin, the quarterback, holding. Looking to give the Buccaneers the lead. They've led most of the night until that last drive by Bryce Petty and the two-point conversion. Catanzaro's 26-yard attempt is good, and the Buccaneers have regained the lead 26-24 with 23 seconds left. But again, guys, it came down to a stop.
Yes.
Came down to the ability to stop your opponent, but even more so, I still go back to there's an opportunity as a player at this point, especially if you're on that second, third, and even fourth team, if you're a cornerback or a safety, to make a play and to flash in front of a coach. So, you know, you've got to sort of worship that opportunity to make that play.
Well, Jalen Davis, the undrafted rookie from Utah State, is in the end zone to hopefully get a shot, as Catanzaro will be kicking off. So they're hoping the Dolphins for a decent return or the touchback and starting at the 25 with no time off of the clock. 23 seconds. Jalen Davis is deep, and this kick is deep. Davis is going to run it out from 6 yards. Davis trying to find an opening, and he is tackled at about the 23-yard line with 18 seconds to go. Of course, that's what happens if you do run it out, is that time will run off of the clock, and you didn't have much to begin with.
Well, but you're now looking at a kickoff because of the rules as similar to a punt with a chance to make a big play. And all it takes is a seam for you to split, because everybody is down. They're not coming in waves the way they used to on the kickoffs.
Buccaneers went 67 yards on 7 plays in less than a minute and a half to get into field goal range to take the lead again. So the ball at the 23. Bryce Petty, the quarterback. He led the drive the last time. Doesn't have much time here, and this pass will be incomplete. And it is intended for Owusu. Now they're at 13 seconds.
I like what they were trying. It was a deep corner route, and if he would have gotten the ball up a little bit, he could have caught it and got out of bounds.
Yeah, he had him open, just didn't get it out there.
Yeah.
13 seconds left.
Dolphins just need a field goal.
But they're out of timeouts as well. Petty, and going out of bounds will be Durham Smythe. 9 seconds to go, and penalty flag.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Oh, there's a break.
15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's not what Dirk Cutter and the Buccaneers had in mind. So a personal foul, roughing the passer, will give the Dolphins the ball at the 44-yard line.
Yeah, just
that's a big difference.
Long pass and get out of bounds and kick a long one.
And you got to remember too, you throw a pass, you're always risked, if you're Tampa Bay, a pass interference call, and that would be another play runoff.
Look at the way the Tampa defense is guarding against the sideline.
Yes.
This side and that side.
They have 6 players on the sideline guarding. They need about 20 yards. Bryce Petty. And Petty's going to throw it into the traffic, and it's intercepted. And that will do it. Clock stops with 2 seconds to go, and the interception by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It was Ryan Smith.
That was, I've never seen that.
Very interesting defense.
Yes, I have never seen it either.
That's saying you're going to have to throw it in the middle. There's no way you're going to get out of bounds, and game's over.
You almost have to throw it in the middle, like a square in, and then run to the sideline and just run at one guy.
Yeah, or, you know, you're not going to make it, actually. That's really strategic, because they have too many yards to really score, because if they throw it down the middle where it's open, someone's going to tackle them.
Well, no, I'm saying, you know,
9 seconds.
Run to the sideline and just get past one guy and get out of bounds.
Yeah. Well, it's a moot point. The game is over, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers win it on a late field goal, 26-24. Interesting game, and we're going to break it down for you on our post-game show. Tannehill was 4 for 6, 32 yards, 1 series, back in action again. It's been a long time. So that's it, the final score here at Hard Rock Stadium. The Buccaneers 26 and the Dolphins 24.